astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Welcome. This is the Jeranism show.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is the Speaker's Corner, where we speak truth, see truth. Speaker's Corner, yeah, they see through, we see you. Speaker's Corner, where the people get to talk, where real ideas and thoughts spark. This is art on the Speaker's Corner. 3 minutes hit the spotlight. Speaker's Corner, where 3 minutes gets your mind right. Speaker's Corner, where the people get to talk, where real ideas and thoughts spark. This is art on the Speaker's Corner.
There we go. We're filing all cylinders now. Speaker's Corner. Okay, sorry, we're not going to wrap it for you. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Sorry, we'd have no screen on there. There you go. Put that on there for you. Turning the volume down. Ah, peace at last. It is episode number 54 of the Speaker's Corner. I got permission from all of your wives. You guys get to be 4-minute men tonight, but tonight and tonight only. 4 minutes. Give me your best. Let's do it dirty. I got a couple of things going here. We already got somebody ready to join us. I'm just going to make sure the screen is good, ready to go. And we should be good. We got, we're on the moon tonight, which is always lovely. Always lovely. Great. I see everything's working fine. That's working good. All right. Hopefully everybody is well. Audio looks a little quiet. Let's back that up a little bit. And let's bring this down. Beautiful. We're ready to go. We are indeed ready to go. That is the wrong clock. That is the debatism clock. We will get that gone in 1 second. I don't know why that's there, but it is. All right, let's actually go to our first person so I can work on this while we get the first person out of the way. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We'll be talking about a lot tonight, but we don't know what. You never know with the show. If you want to join the show, you can do that by going to there. Boom. tinyurl.com/cornerism. That is the way to do it. You'll get in line. Please mute your YouTube feed or your Rokfin feed and just listen on the StreamYard. We're going to start out with Timmy Tim, Tiny Tim.
Yep.
Tim, what's up?
What's up, Jaren?
How are you?
I'm
Doing well, thank you. You got no clock right now while I fix the clock, so you can just go ahead and say whatever you want.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about the sun today. Something I always thought about was basically when we're looking at the sun or things higher above us in the sky, we know that those have to travel further away from us in order to meet the horizon, right?
Okay.
So somebody brought this sort of idea up to you like last week, I think.
Okay.
Where he's basically saying, we're here.
Right.
Or, say it's a 6-foot observer, his horizon's 3 miles away, whatever. And whenever we see the sunset, it's going to go way beyond our horizon before it actually is setting. Right?
Correct.
And so I just kind of was really thinking about that a lot. And and I kind of drew out a little example here.
Okay.
So say this is a 6-foot observer again. Horizon is 3 miles away from you. Now, these clouds, they have to travel, further than the ground ramping up to you. They have to keep going, and so I thought about, okay, well, the ground ramps up to meet our eye level, right? Well,
Close to it, yeah.
why would that ever stop in upward? Right. So
You mean past our eye level?
right. So even though things are coming down and converging, you aren't going to stop seeing upward into the sky. And so
Why not?
So
I'm confused what you're saying a little bit. So you're saying that so the guy was talking about how the ground goes past, or the sky goes past the ground. You're just flipping that and saying that the ground should also do the same thing going upward?
Right.
Okay.
So check it out. If my horizon is 3 miles, right? The ground isn't actually physically coming up to be level with my eyes. We all know that.
Okay.
So we know that things higher above us are going to have to travel further to be at our horizon.
Okay.
Okay, so imagine all you're doing is continuing that ramping up into the sky. And so whenever something is traveling away from you, above you, think of whenever it meets that ramping up of sky, the same, path as the ground is just continuing upward, right? And so whenever, say, the clouds come and they meet this ramp here, well, that's when the clouds are going to appear at your horizon, right? So the apparent path of the cloud is going to go from above your head to converge here, but in reality, it just went here, right? And so if you think about the sun and the moon, stars, it's all the same thing, because why would you ever stop seeing into the sky? Now, yeah, it's going to appear to converge, and it is going to converge at the, your horizon, which the ground horizon is going to appear to get there sooner because it's closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so if the sun is traveling above you, it's much higher than the cloud layer, right? This isn't to scale, obviously.
Yes, right.
So whenever it meets that ramping up, it's just continuing to ramp up. Because why would you ever stop seeing outward in the cone? Right? So whenever it goes here, that's when it's going to appear at our horizon.
I guess where I'm confused is like, okay, let's say we're looking at a hallway. A hallway is going to converge from the top down, bottom up, but there's going to be no continuation of the hallway. It's not like we see the hallway floor continue to go past our eye level. So that's where I'm a little bit confused what you're saying.
Right, because there's a ceiling, right? Now expand that ceiling much higher, and the bottom of the hallway and the top of it, the top is going to slope down at a much more dramatic angle, right?
Yes. If it's higher, you mean?
What's that?
You mean if it's higher, then yes.
Right.
Okay.
And so none of us think that we're like at the midway point of like...
No, we're way down below.
Right. And so I don't even think we can get halfway to the distance of the sun. So I want to bring that to my next point. So,
okay.
Have you seen that David Weiss experiment where he takes a tennis ball. It's 5 feet away from him. He's on the ground level.
Oh yeah, I've seen that with P-Brain did it too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And you're rising up, and now they appear about the same size, right?
Correct.
Okay. And so think of that as the same thing that's happening here, right? So if, say this cone, right? Wherever the top of this cone comes to meet the sun.
Okay.
Think of, you're just sitting in your living room. Say you have like a 25-foot walls around you.
Okay.
And you're sitting in your living room and you just rip the ceiling off, right? And you took a basketball or something and you brought it from one corner where that wall cuts off your vision.
Right.
And you took it across the top of your roof to where it disappears.
Right.
The same concept, right?
Correct.
The basketball isn't going, that's the same reason why, that would explain why we don't see it change size much. Because
So-
even though
but how-
even though the sun appears to hit your horizon, it's still right above
correct.
when you take into account scale and distance, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, an easier way for me to describe that is the personal atmospheric dome, which you kind of had drawn at the beginning, the dome with the person in the middle.
Yeah, that would just be here.
Yeah, but the
in the
sun
world.
would always be the same distance away from that person. So that's why the sun doesn't change size, because it's always the same distance, a half circle away. Your view side of the sun is basically a radius of a circle. Now, when it gets towards the horizon and it starts
So,
going
yeah.
away from you, go ahead.
So that would be if your head is on a swivel and a 360 dome all around you, right? If you were just looking straight towards your horizon, this is what would happen, right?
Okay.
So now, if your head is on a 360-degree swivel, right, you're just turning your body. That's the dome of vision, and that's the same thing.
Well, but the sun only goes through half of that, right? So you're saying 360, but you would only watch the sun
Right.
go 180. Okay.
Right.
Right. So
Um,
so if you think about it, because I think what you had drawn at the beginning, I wonder if I can bring this up real quick. Let me see if I can bring up something for you. Have you ever seen me do that ray tracing thing? Ray optics simulation? Let me
I
show
don't
you.
think so.
Ah, come on, not that. I said ray optics. Ray optics. Here we go. I'll show you this real quick. Let me see
I
if you can
can't
see.
see your
Yeah, I know. I
screen.
gotta fix it over here. Oh, because I took your screen off. Let me put mine back on. Now you can see me here.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a pretty cool site. If anybody wants to go here, it's phydemo.app/ray-optics/simulator, and you can basically pull from these different things up here: light source, mirror, glass, whatever. So if you take a half, is it circle or half circle? Let me see here. This looks new. Hold on, circle lens custom. Where is it here? Is it custom circular arc? Okay, so this one here, if we take a circular arc like this, okay, and we're going to create a little bit of a dome here. And then you can actually create multiple domes. Let's do that one. We'll do one more. That's not really good dome. And then we'll do one more. Okay, so let's say you got these three. I know they're not great, but we're just going to do it quickly. If you took the time, you'd actually see it works pretty well.
Sure.
This one in here and this one out. Okay, and this one down a little bit. All right, so you get these three domes, and then you get a light source. And this is just tracing. Come on, what are you doing? Stupid thing. Come on, go there. There, it's good. Okay, so I'm going to take a blocker for the ground. I'm just going to put it right under here. So now we've got a ground blocker, and then we've got a light source, which is going to be a point source of light here, which is the sun. Okay. Now we're going to turn on, where is it? It's ray density, maybe it's here. Okay. And hold on, what am I doing wrong here? Mirror, glass. Did I do the wrong one? Maybe I did the wrong one. Maybe I did a blocker. Why don't I remember how these get in there? Usually when you do this, let's say we're moving the sun across, but let me figure out why it's not doing. Oh, wait, what's this? Show the rays. Oh, yeah, this is going to be one of these. There we go. So what's happening here is it's showing the, let's see what these other ones are. All images. That's kind of cool, but I don't need that one. No, it's that one. And that one. And this one. Okay. So if the sun is traveling across the sky here, you'll notice that this is the image that we would see of the sun. Basically, It's all focusing that to kind of like, if you're using a magnifying glass and burning ants, that little dot that you see is the focal point of the sun. So if the sun was up here traveling across and you had people in these domes, well, obviously, when the sun gets here, it would be noon for this person who's standing here looking up at the sun at noon. And then it's a little better, a little less bright. And then you've got, ray density. I'm just trying to see if we can get this a little bit more cleaned up, maybe about there. And then you've got this person who would be looking at the sun here, who would be seeing it at, say, I don't know, 8 o'clock or something.
Sure, yeah.
Right. And then, so this travels over. Now it's going to be noon for this guy, which means now it's 6 o'clock for this guy. And then this guy is 8, and it keeps coming, and then it goes to this. But one thing about this that is interesting to note is that the sun is always the same distance from the observer, right? So no matter if the sun is way over here, this person would be seeing it as the same size as when it's here and the same size as when it's here. Right.
Well, it's not the same distance. It's getting slight. Like if it's 12 noon, it's a little closer to you. But I get it's.
Well, I mean, if you're in a half dome like this, right, then 12 noon isn't closer than either of these places. It's closer to you above your head, but I mean, as far as like here or here, it's closer to you when it was here. But this piece here is the same distance whether it's here, here, or here. So I mean,
Right.
yeah, okay, gotcha. Just wanted to show you
Yeah,
that.
I'm saying the same thing. So
Yes.
okay, so if you took right, so you're going from this right here would be your dome of vision, right?
Uh-huh.
Wherever that horizon is, that's the dome of vision. Now, the clouds are going to have less of a dramatic, um, you know, ramping downward to meet the horizon because they're closer to you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Then
So
what?
like the most then or sorry, so the ground is closest to you, it's gonna ramp up the most dramatic.
Correct.
Then or sorry. Right. Okay, yeah, the ground is because it's close to you is gonna ramp up dramatically.
Right.
This is not going to be much of a difference compared to the sun because they're pretty close to above your head. They're still high above your head. The
Okay.
clouds are, right? But when the sun has to come all the way from here down to here to meet your horizon, right? So, and now this is a 2D model. So when the sun is traveling away from you, this would assume like a perfect straight line. You're seeing it,
Right.
go directly, this way. But the closest we can get to that is like say on the equator on a flat earth, right? Because if you think of it on a flat earth map, it's like the closest you're going to get to the sun going directly over your head is at the equator. Anywhere else, like say you're in Australia, you're going to see like a kind of this shape,
Right.
sunset, right? So then I thought to myself, okay, so what if based on this ramping up, and we keep ramping up, and we see that this is a constant. We bring things to an altitude, and we say they disappear at this ramping up of sky, basically, right? We see that that's when they appear in my horizon. That's when they disappear. Then I thought, if we could get that math to work out like constantly up to certain altitudes, wouldn't we be able to maybe get a distance to the sun and the moon based if this worked, right? Then I thought to myself, well, that'd be pretty hard because it's also curving around over
I guess
top of
where I'm a little bit confused, when you say that the sun is hitting the horizon there, that line drawn at like 45 degrees, you're saying that's at like sunset?
No, that's just the path it would appear to take. And so your eyes you wouldn't see it coming from here to here. That's when the Walter Bislin personal dome
Okay.
sort of model comes in, right? That's when you're turning. So if you think of the first example say you were Superman,
Okay.
and this stick figure, you're Superman now, Jaren.
I already know that.
You
Thank
can
you.
go up to the distance or to the height of the sun, and it just went away from you. Okay, then in that case, it would appear to get much smaller, right?
Yes, if you're up there with the sun, yes, it would get smaller as it went away.
And so that's the only thing
Okay. Yeah, I mean that totally makes sense. So it's basically an answer of why we don't see the sun change angular size, even though it changes a little bit.
Right. It changes a tiny bit, but
yeah, not enough not as much as you would expect.
Right. It would basically be kind of the same answer of what the globe people say, right? It's just size and scale and distance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think necessarily it has to be a physical item either. I mean, not the one that we see. I do think that there's a source light that would probably be physical, but as far as the one we see, it kind of appears to me to be some sort of focal point. And that wouldn't necessarily need to change. But I do like P-Brain's video where he shows the tennis balls, and then that really is true, right? When you're right behind the tennis ball, you get like a -8 or 8 times reduction just in that 6 feet of space. But if you raise above it and then you move it 6 feet of space, you get like maybe, I think in his video there was probably a quarter of reduction or something.
Right, and that would be like like if you were standing here and the sun's over top you the entire time, it's not really going to change angular size. It's still just like if you just did this right above your head.
Correct.
It's right. So when people say the sun it would change size so drastically because it's moving away, well, it's like, no, your horizon, right? If you thought of it if this is true, right? The horizon is just ramping up and then it disappears here. Because why would it ever stop? Now, it's going to appear to converge, but we know that things higher above our head moving away, the higher it is, the longer it has to travel for it to disappear at our horizon. Right? So yes, and so it's going to appear to converge, and it is, but the the higher you are, the further it goes. So why would it not just continue that ramping up from the ground to your eyes, and it just continues, right? And so it's going to appear to converge, but this has to create a much steeper angle because it's high, right? And so all you're going to see is this little cone. So you're going to see the sun come here, straight down. And when you look at like sunsets at places close to the horizon, that's exactly what you see.
Yeah.
You see the sun come from basically straight down.
It looks like it comes like a pyramid almost, up one side and then down the other. Like it hits an apex and then goes back down, straight line. Absolutely. See that all the time.
Right.
I like it. Let me, Dave Weiss, I know would love this one. So let's see what he's got to say about it. Cause you've seen his videos where he talks about the cloud deck and the sun goes behind the cloud deck, which is,
I watch his interviews like every day at work.
Yeah. He's got a pretty good, idea where clearly the clouds would all get together at the horizon and they are still the same height that they were above your head. Right. So as the sun travels off in that direction, it doesn't need to go very far until it's going to be eclipsed by the clouds at that height that they were at, even though we see them as much lower.
Right, and that's why, right, like it's just going to appear to be, because, that angle, it's just, well, the sun's behind it. It's not really right here. It's just, you're going to see it through it. So
yeah, and I think there's lots of evidence of that too, that, the fact that the sun does pause at the horizon. The whole refraction argument is just insane to me. I don't get how they think that we see the sun when it's below the horizon. They're like, oh, you see it above. So it's like, oh, refraction causes things to be seen above where they're at. Like, yeah. And then you put a straw in a glass of water and you realize you see it below. So what the hell are you talking about?
Right. Doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say?
Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
You're good. And so you'd imagine, right, like, if you tried to zoom in on a boat that's like this distance, of course, and you increase your horizon maybe a few more miles, that's like in the grand scale of things, that's not correct. That's not much of it.
That's why you can't bring the sun back. Why they say
right, exactly. So that was my next point. Is like people say, well, if the Earth was flat, you'd be able to bring the sun back. It's like no. Look.
And how fast is the sun moving? A boat's moving 20 miles per hour at the most, and the sun is moving about 1,600 miles per hour today. So.
Yeah, it makes no sense. So, but it's like, if you just increase that angle, sure, relative to where you are, these small little things close to you, you're gonna see more of that. But the sun is even though it's closer, closer than 93 million miles away and almost 1 million miles wide, it's still.
I laugh at that every time. It's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. 867,000 miles wide. The little sun, 867. You can tell it's big because it looks so small.
Right. That's right.
Makes sense to me. Yep. Elon logic.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. I do appreciate it. I do have somebody after you. I'm going to see. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Thank you for taking up the time. Well, I think I figured this out. I hope.
Yep.
We get a clock here. Maybe there.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks. We'll see you soon. We've got Travis, a.k.a. Mr. Big I don't know what that is. What's up, Travis? How are you?
What's up, Jaron? How are you?
Long time no see.
Right on. My pup Bernie wants to say hi.
Bernie, weekend at Bernie's. All right.
All right.
I like it. What's up, Bernie? How old is Bernie?
Bernie's 10.
Oh, looks like he's had a couple years on him. Yeah. Hey, you want to hear something crazy about dogs? If you think about dogs, is that a dog experiences in one day what we experience in a week. So you have to think of like, if you don't take a dog for a walk, it's as if you didn't take the dog out for a week.
Neglect.
Take your dog out for a walk every day, or don't get a dog, or send it to never mind. Vietnam.
Absolutely.
Don't send it there. I don't think it'll last very long there. And I've eaten
Okay.
dog. I've eaten dog, so I can speak on that. I actually had to eat dog, or else I would have gotten in trouble if I didn't eat it, because we went to a Filipino house and it was like a delicatessen, delicacy, and they're like,
Yeah.
you better eat it. I'm like, oh Jesus, it was just like
Oh,
really
boy.
rough chicken. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow.
now
How's
you've
the
learned too much
work?
of my life. All right, I'm going to start your clock. Let's go with 4 minutes. Maybe I'm going to give you 5 just because I'm being nice today.
Well, I appreciate that.
While I fix this, we're going to go like that and see if we fix this screen. All right, go ahead. You got your clock's running.
Okay. So I had 2 interesting things I wanted to talk about. Hopefully they're interesting. But so one of them, are you able to go to Google Earth and share your screen?
Sure.
Okay. So if you go to Google Earth and put in Dyess, D-Y-E-S-S.
D-Y-E-S-S.
Yep.
Okay.
AFB for Air Force Base.
Right.
Texas. And then 7th CMS.
Okay.
And you'll get an overhead view, then you can zoom in. So when you're looking, you'll see, let me know when you're there.
Okay. 7th
There-
CMS.
Correct. And then it's going to be a hangar next to the runway where there's about 20 of these I think they're B-1 bombers maybe, or B-2.
Okay.
Oh,
wait.
then,
Can you see the screen? Let me put myself as smaller so you can see it. We put this one back on. Now you should be able to see. Hold on, I put solo. Ah, shoot, that's not what I do. Can you see now?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, you're almost right on the exact perfect spot. So in the middle, see that one single plane?
Here.
That one.
Okay.
Now go down and put it onto a 2D perspective.
With this guy, you mean?
Yeah, I think you got it right. Just keep going down. Zoom into that plane.
Like this.
Yes. Now get to that plane. Actually, you might want to raise up a little bit. Get a little higher. It's actually, I think you're like inside the hangar.
Let me see here. Like that high, or okay, I see
Yeah.
the plane.
Okay. Now see the one to the right. Now
This one?
yeah, it's all kind of blocky though. There's a lot of now. Okay. Do you see the one plane that's quite obvious, and then there's one on the right where you're just Now
it's almost like
maybe-
see-through or something.
well, maybe.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zoom back in,
Yeah, let me go back.
and
there.
maybe it looks like maybe some type of stealth camouflage. I don't know. I just want your opinion on it. It's very interesting. Okay. Now, keep going. Now you can maybe start to see the outline coming through.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like they blended it in. I don't know.
Yeah, and then kind of you can. I think if you push down on the mouse button, you can kind of scroll around it, and it's see what's going on there.
It's very
Maybe
weird.
you put some LED lights under that, and you've got an ISS.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why they would take a picture of it if it was like some.
Well, I don't think they knew. I think maybe they just they caught. Maybe it's what I think it might be is just like there are LED TV screens that you can fold up like a poster.
Right.
So I think if you just had a whole bunch of those and you slapped them on an airplane and with a camera just showing what was on the opposite side of it, yeah, there you go. Now keep going in.
Yeah,
See
like
it?
right there, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Because it looks like there's nothing there. It looks like the ground, but then you're like, no, wait, they are trying to show a plane of some type.
Yeah. Maybe some secret stealth.
Yeah, I don't put that past them one little bit. They can easily put.
I would be disappointed if they didn't have this technology.
Well,
It's
haven't
like
you
the-
seen? They already have some like invincibility cloak, which basically is just a large blanket like TV screen that then records what's behind you and displays that so that you're invisible.
Yeah.
I've seen that. But that is weird. I mean, it definitely is not supposed to be seen, or it's not supposed to be there, or it's kind of weird. Like it blends in with this ground piece, but never seen that before. I was trying to see if they could, drop me anywhere, but they're not going to let me. I mean, as far as the actual street view.
Yeah.
And it actually,
It's
it's a
almost-
portal into space. It is a wormhole.
Yeah.
Sweet.
The secret hallway in the Matrix.
Sweet.
Okay. And then the next thing I wanted to, because I know a lot of times I get into a lot of online debates, and the Globe-Tard tactic would be they'll bring up Jesse Kozlowski quite frequently.
Right.
On his his main argument is one called Jesse Kozlowski, perfectly flat, or it looks, if you just Google, go to his WordPress site, and it looks perfectly flat and level to me. That's what the title.
Okay.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one. It's flat Earth proof, perfectly flat level lake.
Yeah, 1 mile.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just pull up that one, and there's.
You know how to share your screen on there, right? Or you can't do that? Oh, you're on your phone.
I'm on my
Gotcha.
phone, and I'm looking on my my tower.
So I don't know his website. Jesse.
Okay, so it's jessekozlowski.wordpress.com.
JESSE.
Yes, if you do just the Google search, Jesse Kozlowski looks perfectly flat and level to me. That's the title of the blog page.
Jesse Kozlowski looks perfectly flat. Okay, let me see if we can bring that up, and then I'll tell you how we can debunk Jesse every time.
Well, I got yes. I'd love to hear your
flat level. Okay, yeah, I've seen this many times. I debated against him on this one.
This is one I know. This is good ammo for people who they're confronted with this. And the quick one. So if you go down 11 pictures, you'll come to his theodolite in green, and it's got the water in the background.
Okay.
It should be 11 pictures down. And then when you zoom into the bubble level, you'll see it's not level. It's almost
so so the 11th picture down?
It should be the 11th picture down.
Counting the main pictures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This one here? Where's the bubble level? Oh, I see. This thing?
I can't. Hold on.
I gotta put it back on real quick. I forgot. I keep taking myself off the screen, and then you don't have it. There you go. Now I don't know where my page went. Oh, right here. Okay.
That's it. Okay, you're on it. Now look at the level, and zoom in to the bubble level. Go down one picture.
Oh. Wait. Which picture? This one?
Yes, that one right there, the green theodolite. Sorry, I was looking at my TV, and I think it's...
Yeah, there's a delay. No, but I'm confused. This is the bubble level you're talking about down here?
Yes.
I don't know what you would be able to see by zooming in. It looks like it's pretty level.
It's not level.
You mean it's leaning a little bit to the right?
On each side.
It's what?
And when you look at the level, it's leaning like 2 over or so.
Okay.
You'll see that the instrument is way off, which would... Can you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm going to bring up a picture right now. I can't zoom into that screen.
Well, at that level, and you'll see that there's 3 black lines on the left and on the right, and see how uneven it is? You see 2 black lines on the left and 3 on the right. That would throw that entire measurement off.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 is right here, and then the 3 is right here. So you're talking about that little smidgen being off. I mean, it is something, but...
I mean, at a couple thousand feet, that would be plenty enough to throw it off a couple inches, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then also, if you go to the 20th picture down, there's 2 bubble levels on the 1, 2.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it. I mean, why does he write this underneath it? The theodolite is precisely leveled, occupying Cooper. I mean, well, don't say that unless it's really precisely leveled.
So the picture we're looking for is you'll see the theodolite. Oh, keep going. Yep. Slow down right there. The yellow. It's got the yellow.
Okay.
Okay. Both of these bubble levels are off. There's 2 on this one, and one has the red lines.
Yeah,
if you zoom in pictures, it's way off.
Yeah, I can see it's off. There's definitely 2, and then this one's kind of like 1 and a little extra. Okay.
And then there's also the small single bubble that's like a horizontal level on the same picture. There's 2 bubble levels in.
Which color are we looking at? Is this one? No. I can see this bubble on the bottom, but I don't see one on top. What picture am I looking for? I lost you. You're breaking up. Hello, you're breaking up. I don't know what happened to you. You're gone. Your audio is not working, bud. Whoops, let me add you back. Your audio is not working. You there? Travis, we see you. We don't hear you. Travis, say something. Travis. I don't know why his thing's not working. You don't hear me? We'll have him call back. Travis, call back because you lost your connection or something. All right. Yeah, I'll tell you guys how I would go about. Well, I mean, I think it's an easy way to debunk anybody who does geodetic surveying because I haven't had a good answer yet. But think about this. So let me explain something real quick about my debate show, Debatism. And I'm excited about this coming show on Tuesday because it's going to be the first time that really the two guys have agreed to go by my format, which is ultimately the end goal. But I also wanted to start the show and get some people into debate. So I kind of was open to if they didn't like my way of doing it. Let's see if we got him back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
sir.
I don't know what happened there.
Sorry about that. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you continue.
So it was about the 20th picture down. There was 2 bubble levels on the theodolite. It's this one.
Are you showing me? Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, I see that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have the one with the red lines, which is way off, the bubble. And then there's also just the circle level that is also way off. So I think, in my opinion, and maybe you give me your thoughts, if you're going to do a measurement of a couple thousand feet,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be very, very precise, and that type of error in his equipment would.
So, first of all, I mean, so this is a what do they call this? This is a theodolite, the yellow one, or is it a transit?
I don't know.
So I do think that the distances that they're supposed to do are far less than that, right?
Right. It's like 250 feet recommended by the manufacturer.
Right. So I mean, that's you're already doing a mile, which is way over what you should be doing, and then claiming that that's proof of curve. But let me see, theodolite distance parameters. I don't know what I'm looking for. But here's the thing that can we remember. So let me just, because I know it's on the same subject and there's nobody waiting, so I'm going to kind of talk about my debate show real quick and why I think it's awesome. But so I have a format that I think that if people learn to follow, we'll get some good things. Number one, we're going to force people to make claims. We're going to force people to answer questions, and then you can basically use the format to set somebody up. What I mean by that is in the 3-question portion, you can ask a question to get a specific answer, and then you can use that answer for one of your claims. And let me give an example. Let's say that it's me and Jesse Kozlowski, and I asked Jesse Kozlowski, and I said, Jesse, here's your question. Do things get smaller in the distance? Jesse's going to come back and say, no, they don't physically get smaller. Optically, they get smaller. I say, correct. According to our eyes, things in the distance get smaller, right? According to what we see. And he would say, yes, things in the distance get smaller according to what we see. Great. Now, when it comes down to the claim section, now I can make a claim and say, my claim is that geodetic surveyors don't take into account the fact that things get smaller in the distance when they measure and call that curvature. Now, at this point, that's a pretty good claim, and we just had that guy admit that things optically get smaller in the distance. So to me, everything that we see that they call curvature, which is why Nathan Oakley's correct when he calls it a perspective hijacking good-for-nothing curve calculator, because all it is reverse engineering what our eyes see and calling it curve. So for instance, if you look at Jesse Kozlowski's little data here, all he did is he goes out and he measures, basically, I'll just explain what they do. Hopefully it makes sense to you. So basically he finds a location that he's going to use for this side and the location he's going to use a mile away. He makes sure, and this is kind of weird, why is it measuring sideways, but whatever. He measures the height of it exactly, and then he goes to the other side and measures and puts the target at the same height, right? So basically you've got 2 items, let's say at 5 feet tall, one a mile apart from the other. Now the problem is if you go back to the one side and you look through your optical equipment here, then the things in the distance get smaller, period. So does that take into account? It certainly doesn't, because according to his machine, he's just measuring straight across, trying to see where his straight line sight is. Well, that's not how sight works. Things get smaller in the distance, so you have to account for that. This actually goes into play with the whole Bedford level experiment, Samuel Rowbotham, Samuel Hampton, Alfred Russel Wallace. It was all based on this exact same thing, which was Samuel Rowbotham saying you must aim telescopes and transits and theodolites at the first 2 points and then let it continue on and it will be level. But he said you can't level it at its site, at its home, because everything after that gets smaller in the distance. And that's the reason. So then he goes and he takes the other side. Let me show you the picture. Okay, so here. So he's now looking across at the other side. And you'll see over here. I'm not going to zoom in right now. But if you notice, does he show a closer picture? Oh, here we go. You'll notice that the station is lower than the crosshairs of this theodolite. Now, that's all that they measure. So they measure the distance that it dropped, and then they assume, ladies and gentlemen, assume that that item is leaning because they say it's curving. So if it's curving, then the item's not lower for any other reason than it's curving away from us. So it's leaning backwards, even though you can clearly see it's not. But it's leaning backwards, and therefore they then can figure out the reciprocal zenith angles, and it's just a bunch of mathematics based off of a falsehood. The falsehood is those items are not dropping due to curvature of the Earth. They're dropping because things get smaller in the distance. Period. That's just how it works. Now, how are you going to show this to these guys? They got to be smart enough to figure it out on their own. Because if you took a theodolite and you started leveling them together and then you moved it away, you started walking away from it, it would drop. But they would say, oh, that drop is curvature, even though we know there's no, it's a mile. It's a freaking mile. Anyway, that's how I would debunk Jesse Kozlowski. I would just ask him, Jesse, do things get smaller in distance? Yes. Do you account for that? Well, no, we don't have to, because why not? If what we see gets smaller in the distance, and then you're going to measure something based on what we see, then you better account for the fact that things get smaller in the distance. If not, then you've got an unknown variable in there that you're going to, now you just magically call curve. So anyway, back to you, sir.
Very interesting. That's some good ammo. And there was one other interesting thing that I had come across recently is that Jupiter also apparently has.
Sorry about that.
Jupiter has lunar eclipses, and there's a picture that's online. It's if you just look up.
Wait, Jupiter has lunar eclipses?
Yes, Jupiter lunar eclipse.
Okay.
There's gonna be plenty of pictures, and what they're showing is Ganymede, Europa, and Callisto. And if you look at the images, do you see one of them of Jupiter? And then you'll see there's a lot of them on the Google image search, and you'll see the moons, and you'll see these perfect black circles on the face of Jupiter that were supposed to be an eclipse.
Oh, that would be a solar eclipse, but yes.
Solar eclipse. Well, the interesting part about this, do you see them by any chance, the pictures?
Yeah, they're horrendous. I've made fun of them many times before. They're not real. These are not moons, shadows.
Right. So the crazy thing is that the eclipse shadows are the identical size, or maybe even a little larger than the moon itself. And when we have a solar eclipse, the 2,000-mile wide moon only leaves a 60 to 150-mile wide path of totality. The shadow shrinks a ton.
Right.
But when we look at these pictures of Jupiter, we see identical eclipse shadows to the same size as the moon.
But what is the distance from those moons to Jupiter?
I don't know. That's a good question. And then if you look up, but I think because there's nothing in nature that'll really cause a shadow smaller than the object casting it, not like a marble, an orange, a hand, a car, airplane, cloud. You can't really. I've never seen like a cloud cast an object that would be 1/6 the size of itself or 1/20th the size of itself, like we see with the 2,000 mile.
I'm not positive that's true. I'll have to think about that because I do think that there are some things in the sky. Like I've seen a plane shadow before on the ground, and it wasn't as big as the plane. So I got to think about that though.
And then also you probably know this one, like the eclipse model when you look at like the cartoon of how they describe the eclipse model, it'll show.
Let's do a real quick trivia question to the audience here. First one to answer this correctly wins a hat or a beanie. Are you ready? And you could look it up if you want, but then you're a loser in my book. There are blank moons of Jupiter with confirmed orbits as of the 23rd of March, 2023. How many confirmed moons of Jupiter is there? Get it right on the dot. Win yourself a beanie or a hat. Okay, go ahead, sir. I'll be watching the chat, seeing who gets it.
I think it's 91.
You'll be incorrect. You do not win anything.
Okay, dang it. Okay, so if you look up the sigil of Lucifer, it's it's some crazy satanic symbol, but it's identical to what the eclipse model is. It's are you able to see that?
Hold on one second. I'm trying to catch these numbers as they go flying by. 33 is wrong. 2010 is wrong. 990, 69 is wrong. 8,
666,
345, 21, 132, all wrong. 6 wrong. 23 wrong. 80 wrong. 33 wrong. 666 wrong. Actually, 666 is probably right, but for now, nope, somebody came close. Doug, always at 420. Maybe eventually they'll find 420 moons. They can make up whatever they want. So, and Red's Rhetoric, he can do a 3-body problem for the entire moons of Saturn, which is pretty impressive. He'll do it right now if he wants. Brian, wrong. Samuel Paul Setchler, you win. We have a winner. It is Samuel Paul. Samuel Paul, I hope you have a Telegram. If you do, reach out, t.me/Jeranism. If not, Jaren at Jeranism, and send me your address, and I will send, and then tell me if you want a beanie or a hat. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay, so the eclipse model that we see in school books of the sun, moon, and earth, if you could pull up like a picture of that.
Okay, people know what you're talking about. I don't need to pull up a picture of the sun, moon, and earth. What do you mean?
Well, just of the eclipse model, how they show the penumbra and the umbra.
Okay.
And then if you compare that to the sigil of Lucifer, it's a very famous, it's a satanic symbol but you'll recognize it when you see it. You'll see that this sigil and the eclipse model diagram are basically identical.
So you're talking about like this one here?
Yes.
Okay. And
now pull up a sigil of Lucifer.
Sigel?
Sigil.
Oh, yeah.
This sigil of Lucifer apparently has a history where it's 500 to 600 years old. It came out way before this eclipse. So I think what the eclipse model they're showing us is just a religious symbol in disguise.
You are correct. That's what it is.
Isn't that creepy?
Yeah, it's the same idea. It's just you've got the rays of the light coming through and then the rays of the... It's so dumb, too. It's like, oh, these rays are parallel, yet this ray is parallel?
Yeah,
all the sun rays are parallel except for this one and every other line in between there. But again, they can get away with Moida. I've never thought about it. I wonder if they say that that's what the sigil's from, because I mean, if Lucifer's light, it might just be the sigil is what happens with light, which is, I mean, technically the penumbra situation is real as far as shadows go, right? If you were to take a one source light and put your remote control up to it, you're going to get the main shadow, which is the complete blockage of light, and then you're going to get the side shadow where it's somewhat blocked, but there's also somewhat of light getting to it. So it's kind of that umbra penumbra conundrum.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So I have one other thing I want to show you real quick. This old tattoo I got.
Well, you're lucky. You're lucky nobody else is in line, so that's good.
Right on. Hey, Neela, come here real quick.
Who are you talking?
So I got this tattoo when I was young, and it had nothing to do with the globe.
Oh boy, here we go.
My girlfriend still it. Shut the door. Okay. Show him the tattoo on my back of the FTW.
Is it facing? Like, oh, hi.
Hello. I'll put on some music for you guys.
This one right here. Wait.
What do you mean it has nothing to do with the globe? You have a globe on your back.
No. It stood for FTW, fuck the world.
Oh, I see the middle finger now.
So I got that as a youngster, and I had no idea about the flat Earth arguments or any of that. It's just later on in life I was like, well, I there's something that that I knew back then. It was like fuck the world, fuck the globe.
You
And,
knew it intuitively.
I did.
Very
So-
good.
But my we're gonna be in Vegas in a couple days, and we're hoping to meet you.
You
That'd be
will
great.
meet me.
Right
Oh,
on.
yeah.
So
Oh, we're so excited to meet you guys.
yeah, it'd be
Yes.
awesome to see you guys. We haven't been together in a long time since before the flu bug was renamed and deadly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
be awesome to see you guys. What day are you getting in?
The day before, we're gonna be there for 4 days. The day before, and then leaving the day after.
Okay.
We're gonna stay the night there.
I think that's what we're doing. I think I get there Thursday and then leave Monday, if I'm not mistaken. I think. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing everybody. Should be a good time. And get there early because my presentation is first, and that's the only one you need to see, and then you can leave.
That's the most important one.
Yep. We'll be excited to see you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Right on, man.
All
Well,
right,
thanks for hearing me out.
Anytime. Peace.
All right.
All right. We got an open seat. We've got to put the link, and I'll share a couple things in the meantime while we wait for somebody. You can join the show by going to any one of those links. There's 10 of them. Pick one and go there. Let's get this screen back up so we don't have to look at that. Where is the video thumbnail? There it is. All right, there you go. Join the show. tinyurl.com/cornerism. By the way, if you guys have not checked this out, this is a very cool book. She's actually done 3 of them. This one's called Level Plane Poem, Flat Earth Explained. And there you go. Poems by Tamara Cheville, cover by Cosmic Energy. It is quite cool. You've got, I didn't notice you signed it. Jaron, thank you for the awesome shout out when you were covering the book section of Weiss's app. Greatly appreciated. Tara. Or Tamara. Wait, what? Tam. There I get it right. Her name's Tamara. So anyway, it's a great book because it's got Flat Earth Explained, and it kind of gives you an introduction, shows Weiss here. Can you see that? Let me give it you a better view. Need a better view. Webcam, so there we go. All right, there you go. So you got like there, boom, Weiss. Anyway, it's a nice book. She has some poems in here, and it's Flat Earth Explained. Perspective for Flat Earthers. For Flat Earthers, perspective is such a basic proof, so obvious, but the pushback we get from those indoctrinated is instant and almost acrimonious. You don't have to be some brilliantly intellectual detective to understand that one of the easiest Flat Earth proofs is perspective. Just to give you an example of the type of poems throughout here. Vanishing point, hallways and streetlights angle in and down as they seem to get smaller, but if you move forward or zoom in, they widen again and get taller. Everything converges at one single spot from the top to the bottom, from the sides, the whole lot. The simplest explanation is that it's just a limit of your vision, where your field of view meets at a vanishing point an optical angle collision. Nothing is gone, it just gets too far away to see with the naked eye as these images portray. So, very cool if you want to check it out. I believe you can get them on Amazon. You should check out the first 2. You also have some Instagram and some YouTube links down here at the bottom. What do you got? Instagram at Vibes of Cosmos Official, YouTube Vibes of Cosmos. And again, check out Instagram Level Plane Poem is the name of the account. And Instagram Cosmics_Energy. Put those on there. Go at the top. So thank you for sending me that. Very cool. And I know you've sent me the other ones, and I didn't really ever shout them out. So I figured I would do this one and then tell people, go to Amazon, support other flat earthers. Here's what's great about this book is I love to see people who are using whatever their skills are. So whatever your skills are, you might have some skill set. Let's say you're a great golfer. Do you have flat earth on your golf bag? Do you have flat earth golf balls? So, your partners out there, whatever you call them, they pick up the ball and they go, well, flat earth, what's this one? At least everybody could be doing their part. And Tamara's obviously doing that. And so is Cosmic Energy by making a poem book. Awesome. So definitely get one of those if you want. And then we're going to look at this real quick. Ouch. So is this working though is the question. No, I don't know if it's working. It was working earlier. If you guys remember, I do have the LED backpacks from thcshow.live. Definitely something you want to check out. I think they're very cool. So I'm going to my Spotlight LED app right now. And let's see here. Oops, that's not working. Move. Let's go with, what do we put in here? I forgot how you do this. Hold on one second. Did you do a photo? Let's do something else. Photo. Okay. No, I want to pull from this one. There we go. This one. This one. Yes. Check mark. Oh, it's too small. I was trying to. Not that one's gonna work. Hold on one second. Let's take a picture of my beautiful face. Why not? That's always fun to do. How do I look? Like this? Okay, good. Here. All right. So once you get your look, I have cancer. All right, we're gonna use that photo. Oh, one's a different size. How about this one? There you go. Okay. And once you have that photo, no device connected. All right, we're doing real well here. Click to connect device. Spot LED. Yes, connected. All right, there we go. So these backpacks you can put whatever you want on them. You can put your logo. You can put flat Earth. I just tried to put my picture, and it doesn't look tremendous, to be honest with you. Let me try that one more time. See what happened there. Why does that look so bad? Let's see. Do we have another picture we'll put on here? Let's find a good picture. Something good. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? That would be interesting, but we're not gonna put that on there. Let's see what we got here. Something. Yeah, I'll just do the giant symbol like last time. That's probably the easiest. It looks the best. So then we're gonna press play, and then it goes to the backpack. So what you can do is you can actually make the backpack whatever you want. So I just did that right now by uploading a logo of the Giants. And these are nice ass backpacks. I think I mentioned it before. Look, you get this pouch back here that, I don't know, I've never had a backpack with a pouch back there, but it'd be great to keep your wallet and stuff. That's you keep your weed in there. And it's got a bunch of pockets. It's got, and basically just runs off of a battery pack that you can charge. And you can write whatever you want on here. You can make animations. You can put GIFs. You can put, you dancing if you want, whatever you want. And you can get that at thcshow.live. And you can use coupon code Jaron420, and you would get 10% off. And I don't think the backpacks are that expensive either. You can also get the hats that I do have the hats that are up over there somewhere. And it's the same app. You just, it's called Spot LED. And you basically just go in there, you can put text. Let's see what happens if I put text here. Let's see, we're going to try this live on the air. And then we'll get you guys. I know there's one person waiting. Be right with you. Let's see here if this works. Okay, we'll go like that and pray. What happened? Okay, and then we go put this on. And there's a bunch of options, different fonts, colors. I'm not going to really do any of that. I'm just going to send it on over. And is it playing? What's going on here? Local play. This one. Oh yeah, press play. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check with Mike on this one. How do I do the text, Mike? Does it go on the image? It probably does, huh? It's just keeping that logo up there. Oh, here's some GIFs. We'll do this one. Here we go. Love this one. Oppa Gangnam style. Yeah. So, oh, it's downloading. I get it. Might take a second on that one. All right, we got people showing up. Oh no, we don't. He's the same guy. There we go. So here you go, Oppa Gangnam style. This is a GIF, So you could imagine the possibilities. If you don't feel comfortable, you could just walk around with a backpack that says NASA steals from you, or rockets go out to the water, or space is fake, or any such eye-catching material. And then you are doing your part. So also doing their part is Mike, thcshow.live. He's got a good show over there, and he's got some good items at his store. Go to thcshow.live. And tell him Jaron sent you with a Jaron420 coupon code. All right, thank you for sponsoring the show, Mike. Do appreciate it. And thank you, Tamara, for the book. Let's go with JR 5 times 1,000. Can you explain for us your name, first and foremost?
Oh my gosh, what's up, Jaron? My name, it's when I first came onto YouTube, I was a friend was helping me sign up. And I kept doing names that were already chosen. And he asked me, you keep choosing names like that, it's gonna take you 1,000 times. I thought, well, I've already done it 5 times, and so I went 5 times 1,000, and it worked. So
it got through.
Been that way for years, and I do hate I kind of hate it, but it's just been there for so long. I don't know.
Yeah, once you pick it, I just never, even when I picked my name, I probably doing it over again wouldn't pick the same because people think of it as a religion and it's like the opposite of that. It's really not supposed to be that. So I probably would change my name too, but too late now.
For years, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What are you
too
gonna
late
do?
now on that. So I'll just go with it.
What is going on here? Okay.
So 2 things I was going to talk about. One thing was about your experiment with the fishing line across the water.
Okay.
Okay, and I was thinking of maybe a solution on that was using bobbers, like fishing bobbers like these.
Okay.
And if you put them like every 4 or 5 feet, and you just put the line like on the surface of the water, the fishing line,
Right.
and then pulled it tight, because you can put like a swivel on the end of a bobber and just have it not in line with the fishing line, but you can put a swivel on it.
But wouldn't the
so
bobbers
under the line-
keep the fishing line from going under the water?
Well, that's the thing. If you pulled it tight and it would keep the fishing line from going under the water. But if there was a bump in the middle, they say, right, then it would be obviously the bobbers would go underneath the water in the center.
See, I don't think so. You're talking about having, if you're talking about 4 or 5 feet, you're talking about having 1,000 bobbers in just a mile.
1,000 bobbers. They're like 17 cents each.
Right. What I'm saying, as far as they're all floating, right? They do float. So you how are you going to pull those all under the water? I don't think that the.
No, you wouldn't pull the bobbers under the water. The fishing line would just sit across the top of the water, or just right on the surface, or even maybe put the fishing.
Maybe I don't
line,
understand what you're saying. Is the fishing line attached to the bobbers?
The fishing line would be attached to the bobbers.
Okay.
Like the line would be all the way across the lake already, but
Right.
every 4 or 5 feet would be a bobber.
Okay, so then say we start wenching the sides and it needs to go under the water. Wouldn't the huge conglomeration of bobbers keep the line from going underneath? It's going to be floating on all those bobbers.
Yeah, but if you make it like an inch long underneath the bobber, and then keep the line, you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Okay,
if they say there's a hump in the middle,
gotcha.
in the middle, obviously, if you started wenching on it, the bobbers would definitely pull underneath the water. They would pull underneath the, it'd be odd if they didn't pull underneath the water in the center, because I don't think there'd be sag. That is. With all
Yeah, well,
those
you would get rid of
bobbers
the
on there
sag with
that
your
they can
idea.
say.
Correct.
You'd get rid of the sag.
Yeah, you would.
And so if you started wenching on it, and you kept the line right there at the surface,
Okay.
and none of the bobbers went underneath the water, then.
You say we can get bobbers for 17 cents?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Writing this stuff down. It's a good idea.
Just a thought. Just thinking.
Yeah, no, because I think that's what you need to find. Originally, we had talked about leaves or talked about something that, having people patrol certain sections or, but that's actually a better idea. And I wasn't thinking what you mean by putting a lead off of that. So that basically, let's say it's a 6-inch or 4-inch lead off each bobber.
At some lakes you go to when you go fishing, they don't want you near the dam. So they put a rope, but they got those big styrofoam bobbers, and the rope goes through the center of them, but they just go all the way across the lake,
Right.
With that. So maybe that'll work even, but
okay. I like it. I think that it's something too that can be tested on a small level and then, ramped up if it seems to work. You could do it on a 100-foot area of a lake just to see how it works, and then pull the ends and see if you can actually pull the line into the water. It'd be interesting to see if somebody wants to work on that.
That would be a good idea. And I'll send you. I can send you a link to bobbers. I know what's that new one? Not Wish, but the other one. You can get 1 million of them for pretty cheap.
Temu?
1,000 of them for cheap. Yes, exactly.
Temu, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. That place is crazy. I got those lights for like $2 that are behind me. See the ones dancing when I talk. Hello. Oh, $2. What are you gonna do?
All kinds of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit.
The only other thing I was going to mention, I aligned with you. This I'm going to just have to articulate and get your thoughts, because it's just something I think about, and it's on a religious deal, and I aligned with you very much so.
Okay.
On a lot of things, okay? On most of it.
Gotcha.
So, with everything going on, my thoughts are, thinking about all the religion that's happened all over the world at over so many hundreds or thousands of years. It's just like, just in the last 100 years, we decided to protect children, to protect them from child labor, to not send them in the caves to go get hurt, or the farms or whatever, or the orphanages to put them out at 10 years old to go jobs. Like, to come up with these child protection laws, like, that's just barely 100 years old to care for our children.
If that, yeah.
Then women, right? Women also barely got to go to work.
How did they ever get to vote? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, then the vote.
What were
right?
we doing? What were guys doing when they voted for that one?
Exactly, and then there's you know, the racial perspective too.
Very recent.
Very recent.
Yeah.
So of all that, just here in America, it's like just in 100 years, we were able to do something that was really, to me, that sounded biblical. You know, that should have been around from the beginning, right? Why didn't nobody ever want rules or laws to protect our children and put them into labor or slave camp, or women too? Don't have women work or have a say in anything?
Well, what's your guess for the reason why?
So only in the past 100 years here in America, we set that tone for the planet. Is that what kind of went down on that issue?
Yep, sure. For the plane, you could say that.
For the plane, yeah, for the plane. We set the tone just in the last 100 years. All the religion and the most holiest place where all the wars going on right now. You know, it just gets me thinking that, you know, that is the most murderous, child death, rape, women abuse, child abuse, racist place in the planet, but it's the Holy Land.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment, really. It really is. You know, I saw it happen, you know, to like Jenny, who got attacked because she said something. She was actually reading from the Bible on her TikTok, and she got destroyed by these people to the point where she doesn't even do what she was doing before anymore, because they are full of hate and full of spite, and they want to take people down, and they want to do all these things that we would all consider to be wrong. But when they want to do it, it's fine. And then when people complain about it, then it's racist and anti-Semitic. So, you know, are you back? You left? Oh,
no, I'm still here.
Yeah, so it's a sad situation out there,
just
really.
Saying, yeah, just throwing it out there. Yeah, I just find it very weird that, you know, only here in America we decided to pave those roads, and just on.
Yeah, it's great what we've done. I mean, it's amazing what's happened in the last 100 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 150. Yeah. I mean, I was shocked to start figuring out that, you know, in 150 years ago, the American Indians still had 50% of the population of this country. So we don't even realize that. We don't realize that the United States wiped out the other half of the United States. It was, you know, basically they came in here. I mean, again, I talked about it in my false flag episode, but the United States is an imperialist. I guess you can call them I don't know what you would call them, an empire. And we've all just been hoodwinked into thinking, oh, we're spreading democracy, we're doing all these things. But really, they just go around and kind of be bullies and install governments that are pro what we're trying to put forward. And it's not democracy that we're trying to put forward. We mask it as democracy, but it's democracy as long as you follow our path, meaning you have to be able to play ball with the United States. If you think you're going to be a governor, or a president, and you think that, you know, we'll be able to go, well, they'll just make sure you don't get in, and they'll do a coup d'etat, or they'll do something. And they'll send in some counterinsurgency group, or Hamas, or ISIS.
Exactly.
It's all like just a big F.
It seems like everything that's good, they've intentionally corrupted.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what it is. I mean, it's like, oh.
As my dad would say, they're as fucked up as a soup sandwich.
You want medical coverage for your vets that went to war? Okay, we'll create the VA. And then, you know, how does that ever get so corrupted, right?
Well, things get corrupted when you have when you have too much government money coming in. So just think about the fact that we've got 300 million people, and then you say, okay, well, there's really only 200 million taxpayers, let's say. But then from 200 million, then you start figuring out all the money that each person pays in taxes. And you start thinking about what you paid in taxes and what I paid in taxes. And then you're like, hold on a second. Take that 200 million number and multiply it by $5,000, right? And all of a sudden you have this enormous amount of money. And we see it here in California with Caltrans. It's the absolute worst run public utilities thing. They supposedly fix the roads. They're always working on the roads. And when they fix a road, they take months and you drive by it, and there's 27 guys out there standing around, one guy with a shovel, and you're like, well, when you find out why, it's because they don't have any, nobody bids against them. They've already won the contract for the government money. So why would they work fast? Why would they get things done?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I totally I bid against companies. I was going to clean. Used to live in San Diego, and there was 42, I think, bonfire pits, and they had companies come up and
bid on
the cleaning of them. That's all you do. You go around and clean the bonfire pits and all the beaches and all the area around them.
Right.
And so I was a fence contractor at the time, so I bid like just on the job. It was like $60,000 to go and clean the fire pits. It was awarded to some company for like $240,000.
And you had put in a bid for 60?
This was like 17 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Just a bid on it. I didn't have no research, no nothing. I saw it up there, bidding on the jobs, and couldn't believe it. I was like, that's all. If that was my company, that's all I need to do is clean fire pits the rest of my life. Just me and a truck and one other guy, and we're good.
Yeah, that's insane. And that's what it's like. And there's no follow-up. There's no accountability. Again, it's these companies are going to frivolously spend, frivolously pay people. And that's why government gets too big. And I'm somebody who believes that you do need a government. What I mean by that is if you have a group of 20 people, you don't want all 20 of us to have to keep going to these meetings with other groups. You would have somebody you elect as somebody everybody trusts, and that person's going to go on your behalf. So that's what government is supposed to be, right? The government works for you, and that's what it was intended for at the beginning. And that's what, we didn't have TV, we didn't have internet, we didn't have radio. So you had to actually send somebody on a freaking horse to Washington, D.C. to be your representative because you couldn't go. Well, now we don't need that anymore. We don't need representatives. We have the internet. I can vote myself if I want on things. I don't need to have my representative who's never talked to me, has no idea what I want, him over there voting
nothing's
for me.
Improved.
No.
Nothing's improved.
And that's the thing. Life should be improved.
Stagnant. We've been stagnant for so long.
Oh, we've gone
like
backwards.
The DMV has the same story since our parents. It's the same story, and you go in there, they still have the signs up that says, due to the recent whatever, we're short-staffed.
Yeah.
And then you have a line of people there that all you're there to do is just hand money. Like, they don't produce anything. They don't sell you. They give you a paper and type on the computer when you walk out. But there's 2 people at the counter helping, and 100 people in line just trying to give their money. That's all they want to do is give their money and get out. And the state's like, nope, we only do about 100 people a day. That's sorry.
It's about the most that we'll do. Yeah. How is there no accountability for these things? It's killing the country. I mean, the country's going to be not around much longer at this pace. I mean, you've already got countries bailing on the dollar. And that's basically, that would be the end. As soon as that starts happening, I would be on the lookout for it. But it can be saved because this country has so much freaking money. That's the thing, is that there's no reason why people should be hungry. There's no reason why people should be working as much as they are. I mean, we could actually do a lot less. That's what you should do when you have robotics, electronics. You make these robots that do humans' job. Well, really, the goal of that is not to make companies money, which is what companies think. Companies are like, oh, sweet, now we fire these 5 employees, we build these robots, they do our job, and now we make more money. Which is, I mean, you can't live in a society like that where everybody's about, and I know that's what capitalism is, but what happens...
I do have a good argument for that.
Okay.
I got to say, I went to electrical engineering, so I do have a good argument about that.
Let me ask you this, and then you can give me your opinion of it.
Really,
okay,
sure.
Because if you're talking about a capitalist, society like we have here in the United States, so the problem that I see with that is that you always are going to have a problem with people needing to have a job, right? So, for example, as things get better and more efficient, nothing changes about people needing jobs. So that's the problem I see, is that, yeah, you can have robots, you can have all these things be AI now and everything, but the problem becomes you still have the same amount of people. Actually, you have more people who still need a job to live. So this is why, if you haven't noticed, there's scammers everywhere. Scammers are trying to scam you in your email and your phishing links, and they're calling you and they're texting you, you name it. They're trying to scam you. It's because people need money to live, and there's no jobs. As far as I'm sure those people wouldn't do a real job anyway. But what I'm saying is that it's going to get worse. You watch. In my prediction, what we're going to start seeing is people not be able to eat. Okay. And when people don't eat, what do? They're desperate. So lock your shit up. I've had my car, I had to get a new gas cap that locks because my truck has been siphoned twice. Just out in front of my house, somebody's coming by and siphoning my gas. So people are getting desperate, and it's only going to get worse, because how are you going to ever, as we get more AI, as we get more robotics, as more jobs get taken up by robots, what are we going to do with people? The society that they built is one that's dependent on the economy going and that everybody has a job. That's how they built it, So that's why I say NASA is a jobs program, because NASA can never go away simply because of the amount of people they employ. They have to be there, because otherwise
I say the same thing about free energy.
You would tank.
Why they're going to lay off the whole electric company at all? They're never going to give away free energy, right?
No, because those people have a job now, and they got middlemen, you got the guys who drive the truck. Yeah,
exactly.
And if that happened, I mean, that would be catastrophic. I mean, what you're talking about is all of a sudden a huge group of people not having money to pay rent, pay bills, and then what do? So this is the problem we have, is that we've set up this, because what really should happen is, as things get better, as technology grows, life should get easier. Meaning at this point in time, it should definitely be okay to have a one-income family. And it's not. It's the opposite. In the 80s, you could have a one-income family. Your mom stayed home. She raised the kids. Nowadays, that's impossible. Unless your husband or the dad has a job where he makes $250 a year or something. It's just not happening. So that's a problem that I don't really know the answer to.
So I got a good counter.
Okay, ready?
I got a good one. Okay.
And then I got to let you go get people behind you.
So, okay, so in the electronics field, in all those robotics departments, anything and everything that moves, I don't care what it is, anything that moves needs maintenance. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Correct.
It doesn't matter.
Except for not the satellite dishes that we send to deep space and the rovers on Mars. Yeah, those are the only things, because they're made by great engineers. The other ones, shitty engineers.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I'll use the example of when they get rid of the ATM, or the lady at the cash register, the bank teller, and put in an ATM, right?
Okay.
So they get rid of 3 or 4 bank tellers. They put in a new ATM, right? And we think, of course, that loses those jobs. Those people lose their jobs, right? And as more of that progresses, people lose their jobs to these components. But at the same time, for one ATM, the counter to that is that for one ATM to go in, you're hiring a design engineer, a contractor. You're having several people write the schematics for the components of that system. You have many different people writing the programming for that system. Then you have a shipping company that's going to come in. Then you have a contractor that's going to install it.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near the amount that you lose due to the tellers, right?
No, but I think the competition is, like, if they went to robotics, I think the competition is the education, right? It's not really in lack of, it's you need to keep up with what's going on, and that's where the lack is, because there isn't people out there that are keeping up with robotics. So like I said, there's no robots that are just gonna get off and no way climb and do things and get into machinery and change. That's way not gonna happen.
And they'll never take everybody's jobs, and there's a lot of jobs that will never be robots. Yeah, so you have to make sure you're getting into those fields.
Yeah, if they automated all these McDonald's, right?
Which they're doing.
If they just did that, which they're doing, you got to get into the market and be an engineer. It's just gonna change the direction of your career.
A repairman that repairs the machines or something.
There's probably going to be 1 or 2 people at 1 person at a McDonald's, just like a manager there.
Right.
And there's going to be a crew of 3 techs that are going to be there to maintain, operate, and do all that work that's going to be there, and paid a high amount to stay there and maintain these places. So it's just that the level of education has to increase. The more, I think, there's skilled labor still there, but even now the skilled labor, there's all kinds of crazy automation that's going on in the construction field that you need degrees or search for. It's not just
and I just don't think it's certainly not a break even, or else the companies wouldn't do it, right? It's definitely a saving money thing. So yes, do they employ the engineers to build the machine and to install it? Yes, but then once they're installed, you only need one person to do maintenance for like a bunch of cities that he does himself. He goes around and maintains all those machines. So you did lose hundreds of people from tellers, being tellers, and now you've only got one guy doing the maintenance. So it is a net positive for the companies, which is terrible because companies will always add the finances back to you, right? Anything that ever costs anybody anything, they're going to put on you. This is why, I don't know if people notice, but I'm almost against fully self-checkout because I know people are stealing left and right. And what happens is you might be like, well, Jaron, what do you care? They're stealing from Walmart. Do you realize that cost comes back? We will see prices go up. Walmart will never lose money because people are stealing things from the check stand. They've got a shrink number, say it's 1%. They know they're going to lose 1% out the door. If the next quarter they run a 4% shrink, then they're going to budget the next one. They're going to up prices and things and then budget it back down to get that number back down. But what they do is never lose any money. They're not going to lose. It's not their fault. It's your fault that people are coming in and stealing. So I would ban it right away. I would say that it's just stupid because you're always going to have people that steal from that, and then it's going to end up being on the people that don't steal, which is how life works anyway.
And not only that, you're pissed. I mean, there's so many people who it's their first time.
Yeah, they're like a lost
doing it every time. Every it's just like I believe like you shouldn't be able to buy lottery tickets or any of that shit till after 9 o'clock in the morning either.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Because I go to get gas in the morning. I go to get gas at the gas station on the way to work, and there's people standing there doing their tickets, and it takes me 15, 20 minutes just to get to the
We should come up with a bunch of rules that we think they should implement. I would agree with that one. That is one where I would agree people getting to work in the morning probably don't need to be behind people buying a 1 in a 10 million.
Doing this. Yeah. You know what you're doing. All
right, I'm going to let you go. Man. We got people behind you. I've been going long tonight.
Brother. Thanks. I appreciate you.
Peace. All right, Brian, Flat Earth Tests. Welcome.
What you say, man? Can you hear me?
I hear you great.
Hey, I wanted to see if you'd play a little bit of that last video, and I just wanted to say real quick that it's important, and I don't know if people get this, but I've showed that I use Globers as an example where they say the water or the land is higher than the crosshairs of an auto level, and I don't think people are seeing the importance of it. It's a huge deal because
wait, say it again.
Half the pictures they try to show us where there's blockage. In this video, I show Globers with auto levels and theodolites claiming, that the horizon is above the crosshairs. In other words, the midground is looming up, blocking the shit in the background. So when people use cameras thinking they're proving Earth curve, in most of the situations, it's the midground looming up, and but nobody's using auto levels. But so this is a good
Which
example
video?
Of that. The last one I sent you.
I was looking on your channel.
I was going to see if you play from 4 to 8 minutes of that, just a clip, so people, because I have a hard time explaining it. I do a better job in the video.
Okay.
It's the very last one that I sent you.
Yes, I got it. 4 to 8. Oops. Bring this up.
Yeah, she started like 4 minutes or so.
Okay. Starting at 3:55. Here we go. And bring it up for everybody. And I don't remember this part. Do I have it? Can I get it? Where is it? I don't know. I don't see it here. Come on.
Nope, Telegram, right?
I'm going to move it over here. No, I mean, I don't see my little scene where I can put it in there. That's not going to work very well. Wonder why it's not squaring up. That's actually, let's go back there. It's not bad. People can see it. Move it down a little bit. All right, here we go. We're going to play this. Good enough until I get it squared away. Whoops, sound.
Often the horizon is above the crosshairs. So if you were to just take that evidence as is, then you would think you're proving a concave Earth. You can't have the horizon above your line of sight crosshairs.
It is, well, about 5-6 foot it was, actually.
Yeah, and I would not question it at all.
Sorry, you're saying the horizon is below the horizontal, which is what you'd expect?
No, he said the crosshairs of the auto level was below the horizon.
It's critical to remember that things below true level will never appear above true level.
Yet another proof of MC Toon's total dishonesty, where he claims that something below true level will never appear above it. And then in our last debate, he admitted that he did see George's measurements of the horizon above the crosshairs. I've literally ran out of fingers to count that man's lies.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Sorry. Right. Okay, that is a bit weird. Yes,
yeah,
okay.
Threw us off completely. It's really weird to me to think that you're 6 foot off the water or so, and that you can have a level scope and look through the scope, and basically the Great Salt Lake has been, loomed up a good amount. I mean, it really doesn't make sense to my mind, truthfully. It's looming up if the water's looming up, and and it's covering part of the mountain. Like it threw me for a loop.
This is a huge deal, people. I don't think people understand how big of a deal this is. Let me try and explain. If you just went out there with a camera and you seen the Great Salt Lake blocking half of Strong's Knob, the mountain, you're going to try and use that as proof of earth curve, and understandably so. But then you look at it through an auto level and you see that it's the Great Salt Lake loomed up. So it's a huge deal, and people don't know this. So that's why it came as a surprise to Globers, and that's why Rumpus's brain wouldn't even hardly process it.
Can end up with conditions where you have high refraction, where things will loom up in the background, and that water horizon will rise above the crosshair. I've seen that plenty of times.
Now, you heard George Numchucks, who's no longer with us, rest in peace. You heard him in the first clip say he don't think that would happen. I had previously tried to tell him that this happens, and I do believe that Rakia Life had tried to tell him, but when he heard it from Tim Osmond and Jesse Kozlowski, then he decided to set up his own equipment and do a series of measurements, and then you heard him in the second clip say that he's seen it quite often, so this is not rare. Now, what's playing in the background is Soundly's time-lapse of a 7-mile row of lanterns the same height above the water. And you see that the lanterns are just going concave, convex, flat, concave, flat, convex. You can't use these long-distance measurements. I could demonstrate concave, flat, or convex, depending on when I decided to show you the image. You can't use these, folks. So my next example is Skunk Bay. If you look at the time, it's earlier in the morning and you don't see very much refraction in this time lapse. But as the sun gets higher overhead and starts heating things up, you start seeing a lot of refraction. You see the mountains in the background practically flatten out. So that's when they say it's the best time to do surveying. So if I'm surveying for a globe, yeah, sure, maybe. But you see this is when the most refraction is happening. So if you're going to try and use reciprocal zenith angles over 10 or 20 miles or spherical excess to prove earth curve, that's not honest. You see, I can pick certain times of day or just certain windows and prove whatever I want. I could prove concave, I could prove curved, or I could prove flat. These are not reliable measurements. If we're going to use reliable measurements, you have to measure close, locally to the dot, precision millimeter measurements, or measure water, which I'm going to demonstrate here shortly.
Brian, do you have the video that you showed me one time? I think it was on your channel, that has a guy saying that you can't do surveying more than a couple hundred yards or meters. Is it from your channel, or am I thinking of something else? Where did he go? Oh, he's gone. Alan, welcome to the show. You're on mute, I believe, or else something's wrong.
Hey, brother, what's up?
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you? How are you doing today?
Great. Nice job on the debate, by the way, this past Tuesday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was really fun, man. Thanks for putting that on. That was a great format, and shout out to McToon for going through with that. Behind the scenes, there was a lot of work and exchanges done to make that possible, and that was, it was a lot of fun. So, if you're interested in partaking in such a thing, use Jaren's platform as your jumping off point for that. That was like my first official one, so to speak. I was on Modern Day Debates, but like that doesn't really count in terms of like, the discrepancy of the opponent, right? Where their knowledge base would be. So yeah, you should definitely take advantage of this and make a show out of it. It was really fun to do it. Highly recommend it, and probably do it again.
Yeah, I'm excited about this coming Tuesday because the goal is to get people to all do the format that I want, not their own format. But yeah. And just because I do see it being a way that you can walk away from every debate, and you should be able to hear 8 claims. And by claim, I mean if somebody's making a claim, they have to back it with evidence. And that, I think that's what sometimes we get away from, where there's people who, I don't want to make claims. And I get that. I mean, if you don't make a claim, if you don't have evidence for it. But I think it would really make people have to not be so wishy-washy. We just had Flat Earth Tests talking about McToon and how many lies he's told. Well, this is your opportunity to get him on the record of saying something right with the questions portion, and then in the claims portion, if you know which way he's going to answer, then you can already have the claim ready to basically prove him a liar. And now they can do the same thing back at flat earthers, but the difference is, at least for me, I don't think that we have some of the arguments like the Globe does that are
some of the
two-faced, right? They're just like, they'll say one thing one time and then something else, light's a particle and a wave. What do you mean? I mean, come on. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And, there's not little anythings flying into my eyes at, crazy 800 million miles per hour. It's just not happening.
Oh, dude, I just dodged.
You're lucky because they'll just bust your eyes right out if you're not careful with the speed of light just coming at you.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Dude,
you can tell like the, water going, light going through water, how it slows down, then speeds back up again. That just tells you that, our understanding of light is incorrect. But anyway, I think we can actually get some of these things hashed out if people use it correctly. So we'll see what happens on Tuesday. We've got Dustin Nemos going against Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, and is Jesus real and is God's word still accountable or dependable? So anyway, I'm going to start your clock again because I'm an asshole. All right.
Oh, cool. No, you're good. I'm almost done anyway. I just came on to give an announcement for Saturday. I'll be doing a stream with Icon Science that 11 p.m.
Oh, you lost a bet? No. Yeah. You actually chose to do that? Okay.
Nah, we're cool, man.
No, he's okay. I mean, I know we've dealt with him before, but I didn't like the day I dealt with him about the box and the vacuum chamber.
Well, what's interesting, I've known him for 2 years now, and we occasionally there will come subjects where we reach an impasse, such as you and him did,
right?
But we just kind of kept in contact, and it's like it's not the biggest deal, and we just don't really talk about him as much. But
I thought it was a big deal. He brought out an applet or something. It was like a little GIF animation that showed like.
Oh yeah.
It was so bad. I was like, where is that from? You can't. I mean, now people believe when you bring out an animation, like, look at this, how it works, and everyone's like, oh, okay. But you're like, no, that's not how it works. Anyway.
Yeah, if you can show those people an animation, dude, like they'll be super into it.
They love it.
They feel the only evidence official. Of how the moon was created is the simulation based on all the specific conditions that would facilitate the moon being made.
Correct.
And they're like, oh my God, no way it works.
They're like, let's set up the Earth and let's have a meteor come and it's going to hit this portion at this angle and look at it, made a moon. And it's like, okay.
Yep. And then 1 billion years later, all the dust will coalesce and
of course.
It's cool, man. So,
cool.
But yeah, we're going to get into, he had some questions about and wanted to follow up on some of the interferometry stuff that from the debate. So,
okay.
So we're going to go on and talk. I'm going to talk about the ether and all that.
On his channel?
I'll be restreaming it on my channel as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be on his. If anyone wants to check it out on there, but I'll be restreaming it on mine as well.
Tell us again when.
11 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
What do you think? I just an idea. 11 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Okay. An idea I had the other day is I wonder if we could come up with and see, people would screw it up though. I think we should have a master calendar to where people can go and see like what's on right now, and everybody has their show, so they go on Saturday night and see. Oh, you're on.
Dude, that would be dope.
It'd be dope.
That would be dope.
But the problem is, how do we keep people from, because Globers, if they get a hold of it, they'll just delete it all. So then it comes down to having to give passwords and stuff. Well, did I send you any of the links for the Wikipedia, for the Flat Earth Wikipedia?
Somebody did. I have them somewhere, but I haven't used them yet.
Okay, I signed up, and so if people don't know, there is a Flat Earth Wiki going that needs to start being built. I think a lot of us can foresee it being great if we have the right editors, but it's kind of the same deal there, where we're having to pick the people to give them permission to edit, because otherwise, Global will just get in there and delete every page. So we have to kind of be a little bit careful. I'm just wondering, I guess the calendar would have to have that, but then you have to give out a bunch of, I don't know.
So for the calendar, right? So what you would do is you would start a Google group and have your content creators, right? And then you would just have everyone's email address. And then those people would have permission to edit the calendar, and then they would just go, hey, I'm booking a show. And then people would have, public access to see it, but they couldn't edit it, right? So
okay, good call.
I think that would probably solve
and I'm not even saying that people can't schedule over top of somebody else. I've never been like that. Like I've never been somebody who's like, oh, those people, I'm not going to stream when they are, because everything's on video on demand. So really, people can choose what they want to watch live, and then they watch what they want after. So I've never been somebody who's like, oh, we got to have a schedule to where, oh, you want to do your show at 6 and I'll come in after you. Although that would be nice. Imagine if we had a nice layout to where the days just flowed one show after another.
That would be dope. But it's like,
chances
Yeah,
are
I get
probably
into
similar.
things where it's like sometimes I don't feel like streaming for like 2 or 3 days,
Right.
and then sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do a back to back, at 9 p. It's just
Totally.
so
So that's a
yeah.
tough one. But I just thought it would be nice if it was, because some days I do think to myself, what is today? Saturday. I couldn't think of anybody's streaming. It would be nice to go somewhere and see. Okay, these people are streaming, or what days Melodome on, or what days. So I don't know. I'll think about it.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, definitely set it up, man, and we can all work on that.
And and I'll reach out to you about the wiki, because I think you'd be great at moving some of that stuff that you have, all that work that you've done on all these different subjects. Because you could just basically go over there and dump it. You make a page, Michelson Morley, dump all your facts, and then anybody can ever go there from now until the internet dies, and they can see all that work. So it's a good idea, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. Just to start editing all that. Somebody messaged me on Telegram. I can't remember their name. Sorry, drawing a blank.
Yes.
But I'll go through and look at that and get into it.
Nobody should ever be upset about anybody forgetting their name, because we have the most impossible task, which is people have a YouTube name, a real name, an email name, a Telegram name, a Twitter name, and it's like I get all confused. I mean, there's been people before I'm like, oh, you're that guy? Oh, I never even knew that. Like just two people I thought were two different people forever. I thought Just Jack was the same as who did I think Just Jack was forever? I can't remember the name now. Oh, Flat Earth. Oh boy, I can't remember. Not Hillbilly. Anyway, I just thought I always think people are the same or different people, and then I find out they're the same, or they're the same people and they find out they're different. So it's a hard task. So never get mad if somebody forgets your name or something. Just understand that it's a lot of people with a lot of different names. That's not fun. As if one name's not hard enough. Have you ever like shaken somebody's hand and they're like, hello, and then they introduce themselves, and literally 30 seconds later you have no idea?
Oh, not even 30 seconds.
It happens to me all the time.
Literally while I'm shaking their hand, I'm like, who is this person?
Wait, what?
Why am I talking to you again?
And didn't you just tell me your
I'm
name?
like,
and then you can't ask them
like,
again
why?
what their name was,
No, I'm like, why are you holding my hand? It's really weird. Yeah, no, it happens really quick. So
it was funny. I have to tell the story, even though I'm going to give myself up. So this weekend when we were doing the experiment or the observation at the Monterey Bay, I get to the New Brighton beach and I'm there, and this guy comes up and says, hey, Jaron. And for some reason in my head, I was thinking it was Andrew. Just in my head, I thought it was Andrew. So then I walk over to the beach with him, we're talking, and then I get on my phone. I'm like, oh, I thought Mark was supposed to be here. So I text Mark and said, Mark, I'm here. I'm down at the beach. And then as soon as I sent it, I thought to myself, wait a second. I'm like, oh, don't tell me. That is Mark. And I'm like, Andrew's not here yet. So then I realized, like, now the guy's like right behind me, and he's going to get a message that says, he's going to realize I don't know his name, because how else would I be texting him? I'm down here at the beach if I've been talking to him for 10 minutes. So,
oh man.
So I kind of just told him, I was like, oh, I just texted you accidentally. I meant to text somebody else. But
yeah,
it was
hit
really
him with the wrong person.
Oops,
bro,
I didn't mean to. Even though I clearly was like, oh, I need to get this guy Mark here. He's supposed to be here right now, even though I've been talking to him for 10 minutes. So anyway, it was kind of funny.
That's what's up. How'd the Monterey thing go, by the way? If you got time,
it went good. It just I kind of showed some evidence of it. I'll show it tomorrow as well. But we just had doubling of the horizon, which whenever you see that right away, you're like, shit, man, because I've never seen mirror flashes through that. Then there was a couple times we thought we saw them, and I think the next time will be great though, because I was able to see now we can see exactly where they were. When we were there, we were basically looking at like a 6-degree swing, which is very difficult because by the time you zoom in 24 miles, but I just think more people need to get out and actually see that, because I think people might think that that's a very easy thing to see or do. They don't realize how far 24 miles across water is. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's a long ass distance. And the fact that you can see anything is incredible. But there's this weird mirage that happens where basically the background is doubled, and that makes it kind of impossible to tell where the horizon line is anyway, right? So we don't even know where we would be looking for that flash. But I think if we go back in December or January, and we'll probably schedule one in each, now that we know exactly where they'll be, and as long as it's nice weather, I mean, like at least not overcast or foggy or something like that, I think we have a good chance of seeing it. But it needs to be colder. It needs to be colder. Because again, and what are the chances, right? That was like the day we were in Monterey, this last Saturday was probably the hottest day in a month or more. It was like such a nice day.
Yeah.
Everybody's out at the beach. It was like super nice. I mean, the beach was like 85 degrees at the beach, right at the water. So that's hot for Monterey. Monterey is never that hot. And at first we're driving over there like, yes, it's a beautiful day. This is awesome. It's going to be perfect. And then we get there and I was already like sweating right around, 10 in the morning, 10:30. It's like, oh shit, if this gets any hotter, we're in trouble. And then we got over the other side and we realized, because once there's that mirroring, and I'm sure people have seen that before, where you get that kind of doubled image. And we talked about it on Glowbusters a lot, but you can't see through that. You're not going to be able to see the mirror flash of that, nor do I know where the mirror flash would be coming from, because which horizon line is real and which one's not, and where the image flips, is that the horizon line? Because that's well above the actual real water line, not the real one, the one that we can see. So
right.
But no, I think we're gonna do it again in December and January, and see if we have better, cooler weather. I think if people have frozen lakes, I feel like that'd be awesome to do, because
frozen lakes would be dope.
Yeah, frozen lakes are a good spot. They also have like Grotto 1 did that experiment. I know Nathan always talks about the 4 lights, basically.
Yeah, the Grotto one's a classic, dude.
Yeah,
you show that to people, like some academics I've shown that to, that are like, oh yeah, 8 inches per mile squared, they would debunk if you could see too far. I'm like, oh cool, check this out.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? I've never seen that before. I have no idea. Like, and then they just never, never follow up on it. So that's cool. Yeah. So if you ever want to make them just never respond to anything, just show them that, show them that video. And Nathan has a really cool 4-minute like rendition, like where he goes over it real quick, little 4-minute video on his channel. It's called Total Proof or Absolute Proof or something like that.
What's his
it's
channel
a
name?
4-minute video. Hold on, I'll link it to you one second.
Yeah, please. I don't know if I'm subscribed to him. Is it Pitch Lumen?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Pretty much. As soon as my internet decides to load page.
Oh yes. All right, we got Run Boston Bear coming up next. Hang out.
I'm gonna peace out. I'll send you the link on Telegram, bro.
Yeah, please do.
All right, peace.
Nice talking to you.
All right.
Later. All right, we got Run Boston Bear. Run Boston. Hey, I gotta ask you a question first.
Going on?
How come I never knew until the other day? I'm hearing the story and like here in the living room, I'm like, what are they talking about? So there was somebody who cheated the Boston Marathon way back. They like came out of the crowd, some girl, and like this whole. I've never even heard this story.
Well, wait a minute. Are you talking about the first female to ever run it? She had to like merge in with the crowd wearing like sweatpants and boy clothes, and then she threw the sweatpants off and ran. That might have been the case. I don't think she was trying to cheat the course.
No, this girl won. She actually broke the world record.
Oh, and she cheated doing it?
Yeah. It's a Perez.
Okay.
Perez.
That's a different story.
But she also, they say people saw her come out of the crowd. She didn't actually race, but she won.
People do lame stuff like that all the time. There's a guy who his sole mission is to bust cheaters. I think it's called Marathon Investigations. Or
is this a normal thing? This happens? This is a thing that happens? What the hell's wrong with people?
Every single marathon that's put on, there are cheaters that cut the course or start late or get an Uber. They do crazy stuff.
What the hell are wrong with people? Do they realize if they win, it's not a real win? Like you can't, wow.
People are crazy. But Boston is so like big because you have to qualify. And like my wife just qualified. It took her 10 years to do it. And here recently, you have to qualify by more than your standard. So recently the cutoff was 5:29 or faster under your standard. So 11,000 runners that finally made the standard got the boot. They're like, you can't come. Sorry, there's too many people faster than you that qualified.
Wow.
It's been like 1 minute, 6 minutes, but the whole thing with trying to qualify and get there, it's like people's dream. They'll cheat, or they'll have somebody wear a bib for them to get a qualifying standard that's not even them, and then they'll show up and they'll run with their number. I'm proud, but this marathon investigator guy will look at the past history of races and times, look at what they did at Boston, and be like, "Nope, you cheated." It's kind of funny.
Yeah, so it looks like her name is Rosie Ruiz, 1980, Cuban-American fraudster who, among other schemes, was declared the winner in the female category for the 84th Boston Marathon 1980, only to have her title stripped 8 days later after the race when it was discovered that she had not run the entire course. She is believed to have jumped onto the course about a half mile before the finish. She ran a half mile. And she's like, if you watch the video, she's like, all tired getting to the finish line and just barely, and everybody gets her because she like broke the world record, and like she's like being celebrated, and like she came out of the crowd a half mile over there. That's crazy, insane.
That's terrible.
I just thought I was like, I gotta run. I asked that by Run Boston Bear. I'm sure he's heard that, but you haven't heard that. Rosie Ruiz.
I've heard that story. This April will be my 12th year in a row to go.
Wow. You were there when it was bombed?
That was my first year, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Were you anywhere near it?
So I finished in 3 hours and 5 seconds, and the bombs went off at 4 hours and 9 minutes on the clock. So
Okay.
I had finished, and my dad, he was at the area like where the bombs went off. And I told him, don't rush to find me, just chill. And so I went around the block, and he walked away. 45 minutes after he walked away is when it went off where he was standing, which is kind of trippy.
Wow.
But looking into it, it's kind of like you don't know what the heck is really going on there.
No.
But we were in Panera Bread, so right past the finish line, Panera Bread's on the right, and we heard it. We came outside. My dad was like, "Did a helicopter crash? That was crazy because it's not thunder and it's a clear day." And then they were escorting us away as fast as possible.
Of course.
And at the airport, they were trying to like confiscate or get everybody's phone, or if you took pictures.
Wow, really? I imagine that.
They wanted my memory card, and I was like, I'm not going to give you my memory card. This is my first Boston Marathon ever. Just you give me your email. I'll send you everything I got. But like this memory card's mine, and they didn't make me give it to them.
Oh, that's good. All right. Well, remember that if you ever see something, you might want to hide your memory cards right away because somebody's going to come asking for them.
Hey, one other crazy thing at the event, right when it happened, my phone had full bars, everything, but I couldn't text or call. I couldn't get a call. I couldn't send a call for at least 20 or 30 minutes. And I was like, full signal. What the heck?
I can see them doing that.
And they like flip the switch.
Like what's been going on in Hawaii is crazy, right? I mean, nobody's allowed over there. No reporters. You barely have these people that are able to call out from inside. They can shut down information.
Building the fence all the way around the outside. It's like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, again, if there was any evidence of anything, then it's going to be gone. So that's just it's too easy for people in charge to get away with lies and deception because they're in a position to where they can do that. And if you own the media, the media is our only outlet to expose corruption, which I remember talking to my mom's, well, now I don't know what to call him. My mom's widow? I don't know what you call him, man. Anyway, my mom's former husband. And I remember talking to him, and he's like, Jaron, the one thing, let me tell you the difference between the United States and Russia. He's like, is our free and open media, right? They don't have, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, so what would happen if the media was ever compromised? Vinny, what would be the outcome of that? He says, oh, well, then the country would cease to exist as we know it. I'm like, all right, well, what I'm saying is that's already happened. So,
yeah, right.
I'm like, I get that you believe the news. The guy watches CNBC like it's some sort of requirement or something. You're gonna have a homework assignment tomorrow, and just, I mean, those people, they eat that stuff up, man. The news can say anything, and people, it's crazy. Anyway, let's get to your call. Let's start your clock and go ahead.
Start it up. I'm excited. 8 days from now, I'll be showing up in Vegas. First real True Earth event or Flat Earth event. Doesn't matter to me what you say. I know people get triggered about Flat Earth versus True Earth, but really, it's just reality, man. Like it should just be called Earth, right? But we'll get there. It's gonna be fun. I mean, do you think I should bring my P1000 or my drone, or just leave that at home because you can't fly a drone? Can you fly a drone in Vegas?
I think you should be able to. I don't know what the rules are there. And I don't know if you'd really be able to do much with the P900 there. I'm not bringing mine that I know of. But I don't know. I didn't plan on bringing anything like that. I got to bring my hats and beanies and try and sell some there. That's about it.
That's sweet. I need to pick something up. Almost didn't hop on because I didn't watch any of the previous show. I was out riding my mountain bike in the dark.
It's okay. You didn't miss much.
Not much was said.
No, I mean, we had some good calls, but nothing that you need to hear to be here right now.
Yeah, right. So the other day I was on Earth Awakening's Discord, and we were talking about some neat different experiments. We were just like trying to wrap our minds around an idea of somehow to prove curvature or the flatness, and I kept thinking if you got a plumb bob and you went to the salt flats with a plumb bob that helped you to send a green laser straight up from the plumb bob, and you set them certain distances apart, and if someone was way back with an infrared camera or something that would very clearly see the lasers, they would have to diverge. You would have to see it. But I know if you're talking about from the perspective of the viewer trying to see if the lasers were parallel or diverging, you're like, well, that won't work. So then I was thinking, I mean, I'm just going to rattle off what I was thinking because I kept kind of getting shut down. I know that heavy lift helicopters like the Chinook can go, I think they can go 20,000 feet up in the air.
Okay.
And 21,120 feet is 4 miles up. So what if you had two helicopters 69 miles apart and they went 4 miles up and dropped some kind of spherical thing that each one of them had a spherical thing that the spheres knew how far they were from each other, and they tracked as they fell straight to the earth. It would either fall parallel or they would have to fall towards each other. But I just kept trying to say, like, how can we nail this?
Yeah,
thing
the problem
down?
with that is I think any kind of tracking thing like that is going to use GPS. And so
Yeah.
that becomes a problem. Because I always thought that one of the best experiments would be to have somebody launch a balloon from, say, the United States and somebody launch a balloon from Australia. Because on a flat Earth, they're going to be staying the same distance away from each other. You launch them both at the same time, they don't. But on a globe Earth, they're going to be moving away from each other. One's going to be going this way on the globe, one's going to be going that way. But the problem is that everything that they would use to keep track of their relative locations would be GPS. In which case, it's based off the globe. In which case, you're going to get the answer that, and then you'll have Wolfie and McToon calling it proof, right?
Right.
This proof. Oh yeah, it's real proof. Yeah, you set it up for yourselves.
I know this sounds crazy, but I was even thinking, what if somehow you could have like a strong tensile cord or wire or something between each helicopter, and the helicopter lowers perfectly down. There would be quite a bit of slack, physical slack.
Yeah.
But every time you try to come up with something, they're like,
it's crazy, huh?
Refraction, because here's the crazy thing. I've been thinking about this too. I've got 18 seconds.
It's okay.
The math inside of their fairy tale is true, but it's not the truth. It's not
Correct.
reality.
Right.
The math and the philosophy based all around the globe Earth. Yeah, sure, you can check all the boxes that all this stuff is legit, but there's no curvature, there's no axial rotation, there's no proof ever in the history of man that we're orbiting around the sun. And we, with the interferometry stuff Alan's finding, it's like, I don't see why people are hanging on to it so hard. Like, everyone needs to.
Neither do I. There's so much evidence that is like at least evidence of fuckery, of hiding things. Like if we end up showing that everyone on Earth right now is getting a reduced sunlight time, like we're having that people do that observation. Then this is the kind of thing where if they just blow past it, then I'm like done, because we're finding things that are evidence of clearly one over the other. And evidence that tells you it's been hidden on purpose. There's a reason why, if you go to Time and Date, that they've made astronomical, civil, and whatever twilight mathematic equations. It has nothing to do with the sun and the sky, which is what we all think when we think twilight. If I said, "Hey, what time's twilight end tonight?" somebody knows what I'm talking about. But yet, that's not at all what the lie is about now. The lie is just meant to hide the fact that they. And again, if it does come out, and that we are right about that, they'll just come up with some excuse for it. I thought I came up with the excuse already for them, but then I ran it by a couple people and I found out that that won't work for them either, because I thought what they would end up saying is, well, it's because we're in December, we're at the closer end of the foci or whatever, and I thought we'd be going faster, but really you'd be going slower.
Yeah.
So then if the actual sunlight was dependent on the spin of the Earth, then you can't have it going down just because we happen to be going slower. That would actually cause it to hang around longer, right?
Right.
But that's not even the sun rise or whatever has nothing to do with the orbit. It has to do with the spin, they say. So then I realized, okay, well, this is still, so far we've got one of the better, and what it would take at this point to be wrong is that we have people in the South just lying to me. I mean, that would be the case. So it's either that, and I mean 3 people, or it's true. And if it's true, then this is something that nobody has uncovered yet, which is right now everybody in the world is all getting reduced twilight time at the end of each sunset. So sunset, start your time watch, and then stop it when you see no more light from the sun. And that number week to week is going down by about a minute for everyone on Earth, which is completely and not allowed in the globe model, because the globe model should be opposites, meaning that if we are going down in our sunlight time, then the South needs to be going up, and if we're going up, they need to be going down. But right now we're realizing that everybody on Earth is experiencing the same thing. And then that means that we always do, meaning that December 21st, we'll all turn around and we'll all start growing back till we get to June 21st. And that means that there has to be some explanation for that. And the explanation that makes the most sense is that the sun is moving faster. So it's one of those things that we would definitely be able to, make a big deal about if we end up seeing that that's right. So if anybody out there is in the South, we could use your help. Message me, t.me/Jeranism. We just need you to film the sunset for the next, like 1 day a week for the next 3 weeks or so, just to get more confirmation before we go too public with saying that it's happening. Because I'm sure as soon as we do, a lot of people are going to start observing that. So we don't want to announce it and then find out we're wrong.
Yeah. I know I'm over time, but
there's nobody behind you, so we're all right.
Since becoming a true earther and basically investigating what is this place that we live on, and right when it happened, like I noticed the luminaries, I noticed the moon and the sun, like wow, I haven't looked at you
right
in an inquisitive way. Well, anyway.
But you see how materialism does that, right? It kind of makes you not even care about things that are like cool signs of creation. We just give it's the moon, big deal.
Yeah, so like my childlike mind came back alive, and so I know, like visually, I know right where it rises in the summertime, and where I know its path. Like I haven't tracked it or mapped it, but I know like it's hot as crap today, and I know where it's going, like kind of right over me, and then it's already on its way out, where it's gonna rise further east, and it's gonna not go as high in the sky, and so the whole idea there, and the whole thought there is, the tilt of the Earth is supposed to be what gives us seasons, right?
Correct, according to the globe, yes.
But how is the Earth tilting, but Polaris isn't moving?
No, so my pencil's like this, right? Can you see? I don't know if you. And so it just goes around the sun like this, and Polaris would always be north of that pencil point.
So the tippy top North Pole never shifts off of going around Polaris,
right? And then again, it all comes down to sizes. You have to believe, and this is why it's funny that Tycho Brahe said, well, these things can't be true because the stars would have to be an infinite distance away, and then he dies, and then they're like, yay, the stars are an infinite distance away. And then from there they were able to basically answer everything, because you don't if something's an infinite distance away, meaning if you just said the North Star is an infinite distance away that way, Jaron, well, no matter where I move my pencil, if I keep the same angle, it's pointed at that North Star, as long as the angle stays the same. Right.
Yeah, because parallax would just be like almost nothing in our lifetime.
Yeah, it would be nothing. I mean, they say that, I think the parallax of Polaris, they say, is like 1 degree for every 70 years, which again, these things are always very conveniently out of your lifespan, right? So you'll never actually see that. Maybe you see 1 degree, they say, but nobody's going to actually be able to even claim that's true, especially with refraction and atmospheric blockage and things like that. So I just don't, those things are just too easy for them to get away with. Again, they tell us that, the North Star used to be this particular star, Thuban or something, and then right now you've got the shafts pointed at Polaris, and it's like, wait, so then we have to believe that in the years between 4000 BC and now, that just nobody had a North Star, and the pyramids weren't pointed at anything, and then right. But I'm pretty sure. What do you think about the Georgia Guidestones? Do you think that was definitely taken down for the star? I think so.
I do too, for the hole and looking at Polaris.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought about it. I was always like, it's going to be great once it's been up there for 50, 60, 70 years, because if that's still in the middle, they're going to have and then they just destroy. And like 1 brick got blown up, and then they destroyed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Gone in like a day. And did anybody ever get caught for it? Was it ever? No.
Did you see the videos? It's like, well, where'd that come from? It blew up, and like, what's happening? Like, nobody walked.
So bad.
It's so lame. So lame.
So lame. Yeah, it's all these. I mean, I was just seeing so many problems with all these videos on. There's so many people faking videos. I mean, I wish we could do something to people. You shouldn't be allowed to fake videos. It's like, and you know what? It's how people make money. It makes me sick, because I'm like, I can't do it. Meaning I can't, morally can't do that. So I have to sit around and watch everybody else do it, and then you have to like clean up after it. And I mean, the other day, my wife sent me a video of like this lady. She's in a car, and she asked her daughter, like, tell me about the dream you had last night. And the little girl says, like, well, the earth opened up and I came out of hell, and then Jesus was coming. This whole story. And I'm like looking at it closer. I'm like, Missa, that child is asleep. And if you look really carefully, the child is just sleeping in the backseat. So somebody dubbed a sound of a child saying those things. And then the girl, and it had like 30 million views or 3 million views. And I'm like, so I mean, again, when that happens, you should expect now tomorrow somebody to do the same thing. because somebody's going to see that and go, oh, 3 million views. And for somebody like us, where, you know, there hasn't been a flat Earth video that's gotten more than 20,000 views in months. And, you know, and I'm always afraid, at least we haven't, you know, nobody's done it that I've seen, but I'm always afraid people are going to start faking shit because it's what's needed to be like sensationalism sells, you know, like if you can, yeah. So the problem with that is that that's what we should expect. So I see too many people believe like TikTok videos just watching it and they're like, oh, this is true. It's like, you cannot do that anymore. You just can't. You have to, or you're going to look very bad. And then I hope people know that it hurts flat Earth. If you say something that isn't true, what happens is you have people who are very gung-ho about this. They're new, they're excited. And so they might see something or hear something that they think is true. And then they go to their friends or family and they're like, no, you're an idiot. You're a globetard. It's flat, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll bring up one of these things. And then if it gets debunked, I don't think people realize that's probably the time we do have flat earthers go back. Because you're going to have somebody who's going to, they just call their family dumb and you're stupid and look at this picture and it's from, and then if they get proven wrong that it's a, you know, was a fake picture or whatever, it's very tough for that person to remain in the flat. They might go back because they don't feel comfortable anymore. Now they're like, well, I don't have time to review everything. So I don't know, just a public service announcement to people. Please just there's never anything so important that you need to share right now. Just give it 5 minutes, look into it, search it. And people are always like, what am I going to search? Snopes? I'm like, hey, if Snopes comes up, read what Snopes has to say. I'm not saying that Snopes is always right, but I'm saying that Snopes might have an actual debunk of an item that you're about to share. Mm-hmm. So remember that your family member you give that to is going to go to Snopes. So you should at least know what the Snopes response is, because your family member is going to go there and they're going to come back to you and say, this is debunked because this says. So I just wish more people, I know it's more work. I know my biggest problem is telling people, do your own research. I always tell people, do homework, do this. People are like, I don't want to do shit. I just want to listen to you and get the truth. So, but again, I just, it bothers me, all the fake videos. I mean, like Facebook makes me sick with like the gold digger videos that come up. It's just so fake. It's not even, it's so far fake that it's just ridiculous. And that guy who was up with his phone, like, oh, can we test your boyfriend? Can we test your girlfriend and see who's loyal? It's just completely fake. It's it's just completely fake. And you look at the views, 150,000. People are making money off it, and people are making money. You think they're going to keep doing it if they're making money? Of course. So just upsetting because as a truther, you really wish we were getting closer to things being true. But, you know, unfortunately, it seems like in today's world, the more crap they put out there, the better it works out for them. Talking about the elite, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The you know, as soon as the American public, everything they believe is false, then our disinformation campaign is complete. That's what they're going for. And so you get a lot of people who are like, I can't tell the truth anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore. That's where they want you to go. It's like, that's what they want you to feel. They want you to feel that way about which girls are guys, which guys are girls. They want you not to reproduce because you go to a bar and like, I don't know if any of these chicks have a penis. I'm not going to go up to them. That's what they want. And so we're all falling for these little traps that have been set for us. And it just is sad to see. And I don't know how to stop it because I'm not in charge of anybody but myself. So.
Right. And I mean, that kind of puts my mind on this aspect of logic or free will or reasoning. I have the right to investigate and look into any topic. It doesn't hurt. Some people think that me pondering what is this realm we live in and trying to figure out if there actually is curvature to be found, which I haven't found videos or evidence. We know what we can't find, but what really bugs me is the people that get so angry and they want to hurt me or shut me down, or the comments for just asking questions. Yet we have people that want to identify as cats and they want to have their litter box in class, and the teacher can't say anything. They got the teacher's hamstrung where they can't say that's weird or awkward. And so I'm supposed to sit here and be totally okay with you wanting to live a life that's, in my opinion, it's a fairy tale. It's a fantasy. It's not real. It's not reality. But you want that, and you want respect too. Well, I want to investigate the world and look at what it is and what it isn't freely. I want peace while I'm doing it. And you got these people that are just attacking, and it's crazy. It should be a red flag for anybody. I mean, it's almost on purpose so that if anybody gets curious at all, they get their like hands smashed before they even get to ask a question, just to get them back lined up with the main narrative.
That's why I do what I do, because I wanted people to realize that there is another option, that you can look into it, that people do look into it. That was basically it from the start, because I said, it's not fair to all of us to immediately dismiss things. I told my wife, what are you, stupid? Planes go around the earth. It can't be flat.
Right.
That's what I mean. I literally thought that what she was saying was the dumbest thing ever. And it wasn't until I saw the AE map, and luckily I saw it, because what it really did is teach me that something so simple as planes going around it, that my mind had set up because of my indoctrination, because of my training, whatever, it had blocked the ability to see the idea of a plane going around an earth. So I just told her when she said, do you think the earth could be flat? I'm like, no, what do you mean? I've gone east, you've gone west. The planes go around it. How could they go around a flat earth? So you just dismiss it. And I think that everybody deserves that moment of realizing that we've been hoodwinked, a lot, often. But you're right. I like what you said about you have your right to an opinion. Like, I have every right to make a YouTube channel and say my opinion, right?
Yeah.
If I make a claim, if I say something is 100% true or whatever, then I have evidence to back it. And that's how I operate. And what bothers me is you have people, like you just said, like people like Brenda, who will call me a bigot and things like that because, if I question her gender or whatever. So, but she wants respect. And so I have to call her what she wants to be called.
Right.
But she comes on my show and calls me a grifter and a liar. But I'm like, wait a second. So why is that okay? There's no, you don't get called any names for that. You don't get called a bigot or anything for that. But I literally have to be on my own show getting called names, but I have to address you correctly because, I mean, what is the story there? Like, well, what if I only want to be referred to as the truth teller supreme? That's just what I want. Right. Yeah. I mean, if that's what I want, then I don't understand how somebody has a right to come on my show and not address me as that. Well, if that's just ridiculous, even saying it sounds stupid because people have a right to their own opinion. They can say whatever they want. If I want to pretend that I'm a monkey, great. But if people don't address me as a monkey, I don't have a right to tell them they have to. They could say, I don't want to address you as you're not a monkey. So, just because I feel like I'm a monkey, if I say I woke up this morning, I feel like a monkey. Well, sorry, we're going to call you what we call you. And I feel the same way. If Brenda wants to call me a liar, she has every right to do that. She doesn't ever show it, but at least she has a right to do that. Just as if somebody wants to call her a him or whatever, I'm not really sure that there's a lot of recourse there. But again, in today's society, one of those will get you shut down, canceled, and called a bigot. And the other one is free reign. You want to go after flat earthers? You can do anything you want.
Yeah.
Literally, nobody's going to get mad at you. It's not like you had a news story where they're like, oh, somebody beat up this flat earther. Everybody who's watching the news story would be like, yes. Nobody be like, oh, no, that's terrible. It's because people are like herd mentality. Like, some people are less than humans. And right now that is flat earthers.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. You got anybody in line yet?
Yeah, Plain Reality, but his camera's not on. So I don't know if he's going to be able to join. You need to, it says device is not connected just now. But anyway, anything else you want to do?
Tell him sometimes hit the settings wheel and make sure that he has like front facing camera, whatever. Because I've had to do that before. Pick the right camera. See if he pops up. Yeah, I've enjoyed hanging out. I look forward to meeting you in a little over a week. And it's going to be a fantastic time. I mean, honestly, the community, it's welcoming. It's chill. People have all sorts of different ideas of what is and what isn't. And there generally isn't a lot of fighting except for just like a particular few that we know. But I'm talking about like in the family, like, hey, we're not allowed to explore all the way to the edges where Antarctica is and up on the ice wall and go look and see what's beyond it. They won't let us go there. We are literally trapped in the middle like Hunger Games.
Right. And
until we can go explore, we can't give the answers to the Globers that want to model.
What do you think of the idea of a couple people who've been talking, Eric and Vela? There's a couple people that have been saying, is it possible that we are allowed to go?
Yeah, like with what are the balloon ships or what are they called?
Well, that or even a boat. Like for instance, what is crazy true is that we've been doing this for 8 or 9 years, right? And nobody's just gone. Like one of us or somebody or a group of us should go and at least, because it's great video footage. If we go and we get stopped, that's great video footage. But it's like, as much as we talk about don't be scared and don't live by fear, but all of us obviously are afraid because nobody's gone. So, and I get it's logistics and money. There's a lot that goes into it, but nobody's even tried to get the ball rolling. So I wonder if that could be like one of these large deceptions is that these guys can't really stop you, but they can make you think that they can stop, right? So they say, oh, you got to fill out all this paperwork. You got to do all this, but Antarctica isn't owned by anybody. So who's making us fill out paperwork?
Right. Yeah. It's another trick. It's another fear mongering trick that you're going to get either shot down or killed or imprisoned. But here's the other thing. It's a freaking huge mission to get there, I think.
It is. I
because
mean, people don't
the
realize from the
further
tip of South America to Antarctica is like 800 miles. That's ridiculous. That's a long way. Think about
Don't
how
you think it could be farther than that, though? Like the maps say that it's that. I think the farther you go south, the bigger it actually is. Like,
yeah, it
because
could be, but I mean, 800 miles is a long. I mean, think of the picture that we see of the little fishtail, and it looks really close. But 800 miles is like the distance of north to south of top to bottom of California. So
Right.
that's a pretty big boat trip through the most treacherous water. Now, again, here's my problem. I'm saying that, and I don't know shit. I'm saying,
Yeah.
oh, it's treacherous water. Well, that's what I've been fed. I've been shown videos of the choppy water and boats getting tossed around. But again, it's just like Truman Show. It's the exact same storyline, which is
Yeah, yeah.
Truman wouldn't go out on the water. He's afraid to go out on the water. And when he did, he found the end. So maybe we're all in the Truman Show, and who's going to be the first one to sack up and go?
Yeah, yeah. The only thing there is it'd have to be somehow like live streamed, because we would have to know what happened if there was like if somebody went quote unquote missing. Because I would say you have to pick a young brave man that isn't married, that's down to check it out. You know, like I wouldn't want to go because I got a family and stuff.
Right, me
like
too.
that.
Same thing. I don't think Maverick wants to go.
Yeah, yeah. But or
But
an
just something
older
to think
person.
about. Just something to think about. Maybe we start getting a list together of people who would be willing to go. I mean, I'm
Well,
willing to
thanks.
go on a flight. I'm willing to definitely go on any flight,
Yeah.
especially that one that we were trying to get from Buenos Aires to, I think it was Perth. Yeah, Perth to Buenos Aires or something. It's one of those
Mhm.
flights that would be very, very difficult on the globe for them to make. And the flight doesn't run. And if we could get a chartered flight there, I would go on that plane. People are always like, well, what if they shot us down? I'm like, I think that would be a pretty big detriment to the globe story if flat earth flight crashes. I mean, that's the kind of thing they don't want to ever happen.
Right.
They want us to
Yeah.
be crazy and fringe people, but they don't want to be martyrs. I don't think they
Mhm.
want that, So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm not afraid of them shooting down the plane. And if they do, well, then you guys better keep the ball rolling and somebody take care of Maverick in this.
There you go. Yeah, plain reality said it can't work it out. I'm driving, so maybe
Oh,
he can
driving
just
is gonna be tough.
Maybe he can do just audio, but
Well, I think he's going to be coming on. He's going to be doing a show. We're going to do a show together, like a presentation, because he's got all kinds of footage he wants to show. And he seems to think he understands what's going on with the mirroring and stuff that we saw at the Monterey Bay. So that'll probably be in the coming weeks. I don't know if it'll be next week because we got the conference coming up.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I'm in East Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm from Boston, but I just picked the Run Boston Bear because of my string, the 12 years straight. And I really want to do it 25 years straight.
Wow.
When you do 10 years in a row, that qualifying standard I was telling you about is like treacherous. You got to like really make it. Once you do 10 years, you're in the Legacy Club. And if you qualify by 1 second, you get to register 2 weeks early, and you're like exempt from having to make the extra. And then once you hit 25 years, you don't even have to qualify anymore. You just get to come back for the rest of your life till you die.
All right.
And I'll be 55 whenever I get 25 years in a row. So that's my goal.
That's a good goal to have. I should come up with a light goal. Right now, I'd be to never run a marathon. That's my goal.
And my goal
Is that the same kind of goal?
Awesome, dude.
All right.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't
Thanks
ever
much.
let the haters get you down, because half the time they're probably actual bots. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm in a good place right now. I think that some things need to hit on some cylinders, but I think that I'm excited about the debate show more than I've been in a while. I think it's good. We get a lot of people looking out. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants to debate, you can either email debateism@outlook, or you can go to t.me/debateism and put your name in that way. And we've got somebody who's going to be doing the booking, who's going to be managing that channel. So I'm getting excited about it.
Yep. And hey, I'm gonna probably start streaming or figuring out OBS and like
Cool.
going live on YouTube. It'll just be YouTube at Run Boston Bear.
Okay.
There's three small videos there now of me just like messing around with my camera. And I mean, I'm not gonna be a you or a Witsit, but I'll definitely be an honest dude, just saying this is what I think it is, this is what I think it isn't.
None of us thought we'd be me or a Witsit when we started either. So you never know. You could be that.
Yeah.
If
It'll
you
be
need any
fun.
help with OBS, let me know. I do consultations for that. In an hour, I can pretty much walk you through the whole thing, so you can at least understand something that would take you probably 6 hours to figure out on your own. So,
Oh man, that's cool. I might hit you up for that. And
Sounds
then,
good.
Shane and Alan, all these folks I holler at pretty often. But keep doing it, man.
Okay.
We got the truth. We just have to, be patient with the people that are literally brainwashed. And I'm not saying that to be mean. It's just, it's a brainwashing. It's a programming. There's all sorts of thick, deep, confusing things. I mean, I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people have a problem with is they can't go back to the little kid that got lied to and fix it there. They can't go to the 5-year-old that was told by a teacher they respected that the solar system was real. And because they can't fix that, because it would be a major pain, like an actual wound.
Yeah, it's like a lot of work.
Well, it's a huge deception. And people are so quick to say, no, I'm going to cling to what the authorities say. I'm going to cling to what I think I know. I think I have the truth.
Right.
And so these flat earthers are idiots. I'm never going to listen to them. But the truth is they've been deceived. They have. I mean, I was deceived too. I just got free 2 years ago. And waking up people that don't want to be woken up, it's tricky. But that's why I'm going to
I don't think you can wake somebody up that's pretending to be sleeping, right? Yeah,
well, thanks, bro. I'll holler at you later.
All right. See you later. We got Charlie up next. Charlie.
Hey, how's it going, Jaren?
How are you, my friend?
Good. Very healthy, the whole thing. How are you?
Oh, very healthy, the whole thing as well.
Yeah, I'm glad. Hey, man, I just wanted to share about, you were going to do a mirror test. Salutes to the folks in the panel and everybody in the chat.
Yes.
I ran out of spaceless beer, so that's why I'm drinking gin and juice.
All right. I like maybe a screwdriver better, but I don't drink, so just old days.
Yeah, all good.
Back in the day.
Hey, that mirror experiment, man. Did it happen in last weekend or?
Yeah, we didn't see anything, so I'll show it tomorrow on my show. We showed it on Globebusters too. It's because you'll see in the video. There's a mirror. Oh, I can show it right now. Actually, what am I doing?
I don't want to spoil it. If you're going to put it on another show, I don't.
No,
want
I'm
to
just
spoil
to
it,
show
man.
you a little
Big
view, just
respect.
in case you can't be here. But just so you can see, there's this doubling on the. Let me see if I can bring this up and see. Do you see?
I carry a big stick. You know what I mean, right?
Wow,
The rod of staff.
that's impressive. That's impressive.
I made my own rod of staff when I go hiking, of all things.
Does your thumb and forefinger touch when you wrap your hand around that? I didn't see.
No.
Okay,
So I'm going to put him in a kung fu class or some kind of, I'm working on it. He's 10 years old. My son is 10 years old now.
Nice. Let me see here. So
nice.
here's this. Can you see that or no?
I see a half of purple stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is the infrared camera. Again, we're looking 24 miles. But you can see, I'm going to do over here. You can see this is just a lot of doubling. It's just a mirage. And it was because it was so hot. It was like 85 degrees. And so, we thought we saw mirror flashes a couple times, but they were like happening way up here. But again, we didn't even know where is the horizon. Because if you look here, you can see these two things are the same, right? It's just a reflection of the same thing. It's what you see when you get that. And what's even weirder is that in the other guy's camera who had a P950, he didn't have, here you go. See this? God, I keep using the wrong thing. Over here. See how this is just it's a reflection of the sky. Basically, it's a mirage. And if there's anything going on behind here, you would never see it. Obviously, it's blocked by the mirage. So we have to go back in December or January when it's cooler. And we do know exactly where they're at now, which was a problem because here we didn't know. We were kind of scanning about a 6-degree sweep. That's a pretty good picture. You can see there, this is the mountains, and we couldn't figure out really where they were. We kept trying to look at Google Earth on our phone, and you'll see me zooming in different places here. But now, since I've looked on Google Earth, I know exactly where they were. And what's going on here? Oops, that's not a good video. Let me go to this one. This one here. Just trying to find one with the good. Every time we went, you'll see these mirroring. So it's good.
I can appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't expect that's why we did it in the winter or October, is because we didn't want a day like that. But I don't think it's been that hot in Monterey in a long time. So you can see across here that you don't even see from about, I keep using the wrong thing. From about here down is all just crap. It's just garbage back here. It looks like it's duplicating. It's just because the heat coming off that water is making it mirage. You're getting that inversion. And let's see, like here. So that's pretty clear. You can kind of see that clearly, but then you can see that there's all this doubling here. It's like that stretching that you can see this is a doubling here.
Yep.
So anyway, if there was a mirror flash, I didn't think you'd be able to see it through that. I was kind of saying, I don't even know why we're looking, because But then what we did see is we did see some mirror flashing. Well, we thought it was a mirror flash, but it ended up just being, I don't know what. Maybe I'm trying to find that video. Maybe a reflection of some type, but it wasn't them, because at one point when we saw that, we got it locked in. Then we said, okay, now stop flashing, and we were hoping that the flash would go out, but it didn't. So it means it wasn't them. Let's see if I can find that video. It was a longer one. Oops. Go ahead.
No, it was a good attempt, a good test. I mean, it's not over yet.
No. I mean, well, the good part is that we know where they're at now. And that was part of the problem. I mean, you can see here, I'm sweeping back and forth on this horizon because we don't really know where they are, because we can't see anything on the other side. We just see a mirage, right? So how do you know where they're at?
Right.
So, and then we had this problem where, and I don't know if people want to, check that. You could check it yourself. Somebody download like a compass app. Somebody used their iPhone app, and somebody turned true north on or off on their iPhone app. What we were getting is 3 completely different directions, about total of like 7 degrees difference, meaning that, my phone was lined up. Okay, well then this line says that, 177 is that way. Okay, and then the other phone says it's that way. Now we're looking at a pizza slice that we have to cover that entire area because they could be anywhere in there. So now knowing where they were, life will be much better. And I don't remember in one of these videos, I do zoom in on exactly where they were. It's let me see if I can get to the whole mountain view here. Nope, not that one. When I can see the whole mountain, I can show you where they were. And then it's good to, I mean, now that we know that, it's going to make next time so much easier, better. And then we just have to pray for good weather. And I don't mean good weather as in hot weather. I mean cold weather that's clear and doesn't have overcast and doesn't have rain and all that.
I would have loved to have been there, Jaron, but
you don't live close, do you?
We maybe more time in advance. By the time I got a chance to see it in your when you brought it up.
Okay, well we're gonna go.
It didn't work out for me, but I hope it was a good turnout for you.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Nobody really showed up. We had just three guys on my side.
Peeps out. If you trust me, I can get peeps out, but I need more time in advance.
Yeah, there was 3 people on one side and 3 people on the other side, and they, from what I heard, not everybody was holding mirrors at the same time. But you can see over here.
I would have got the same thing, a 4-foot mirror by length or 6-foot by length,
Well, this is something I saw at Salton Sea, and I also saw it here again, is that people want to treat those events like meetups, so they don't want to do any work. So nobody's.
No. We do the work.
Yeah, I mean, people.
The people we're serious about what we're doing, and the people that I would invite would be. It's only like 2 or 3. It ain't. You know what I mean? And it's trustworthy, real science, not that fake stuff. That's all I'm saying.
So you see this right here?
Yeah.
Right. So the problem that I was having is at first I thought, is this part of the water that's reflecting? Is the horizon line here? But the problem with that is we never see any boat up here. We only see boats end at basically the water line. So there's never a boat floating over here, in which case I would think it was actually on water. But you can see this is just a mirage. You can see it's a doubling, a waviness here, these white things. Well, how are you going to see a mirror flash that's behind that? You wouldn't. You can't see that. It's mirage is just like a flipped version of the original image. Let me see. What the hell is that light come on that for?
You picked a good spot. I think the test can be conducted in the same area.
Yeah, I think so too.
But yeah, okay. But in a probably a better scenario. Oh, my phone's dying.
Okay, have a good one.
I don't know.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Can you hear me? Am I check?
I hear you.
Okay.
I just had a light come on. That's
like 15, I don't know, 15 bars or 15%.
Okay.
I'm not a phone guy. I'm a dinosaur. But
dinosaurs are fake.
If there's other people.
No, there's nobody else. Just you.
To reach out to you and big respect for what you do, man. Big
Thanks
support. That's all.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you, Jaron. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, that was Charlie. We're going to shut her down because we're at 8:40. We've been 2 hours. Good enough. We talked about a little bit of geodetic surveying. I don't even know is Kozlowski's still around. I would debate him again because I would just bring up that same point. Debate him on debatism. So I'm trying to show you. Okay, so this point about here, where the mountain is the very lowest. Oops, move that. And this point here, where the mountain was at its very highest, was basically the 2 ends of our spectrum. We were sweeping back and forth between there. Now we know that they are definitely right here. They're definitely right at the lowest point, right in that little corner, nook and cranny there. That's where they are. So that's good news, meaning that now we can just zoom in on that one spot. It's a pain in the ass to keep sweeping back and forth here because obviously when you zoom in, if we see here, you'll see how quickly a little tiny spot becomes. So let's watch this as we zoom in and think about it. So now we're getting in here. And still, now you can look at all this mess. See, so now we have to sweep back and forth, and it's just too hard to even tell. Are you looking in the right direction? How would you see a mirror flow? Oh, what's that? Oh, I thought I saw something. Anyway, but you're definitely getting a mirage, a weird mirage, and it looks like it's up high to me. So that's the weird thing, is that I don't even know where to look for the horizon line. See this over here? Look at that. It's all mirrored. All this is mirrored. As we get in, you can see that looks fine there, but then as soon as you get now, you see all the duplicating. And if you get too close, then it's really bad. So if we get much closer than this, you're going to see everything just duplicates. Where are we at? Go in there. Zoom in. Oh, right here. So I'm trying to see that part there. Doesn't look bad from that far away. But again, now we know where they're at. I'm just going to check one more. I'm trying to find the flashes that we thought were them. Oops, that's not the right video. That's too short. Let's go with this one. Hello? Okay, this is the longer one. Let's see if it's this one. So there you get them. It's good mirroring right there to show. See, that's just like blocking all that out. There's no discernible features at all here. And what's crazy is the guy with the P950 next to me, when I went and we would switch cameras every once in a while just to look, and you could not see anything through his camera. So all this doubling that we see and all the seeing through the haze is just done with the infrared. With his P950, it literally looked like you were looking at ocean ending into sky. Like you couldn't even see the mountains. It was really weird. Well, I mean, you could see them, but they weren't like this. They weren't like sticking out. See, like right there, I want to show you one thing real quick. This is what I kept thinking after the fact. It's like, wait, is this the... As you start zooming in here, I started thinking, is this the water right... See, almost like this is the horizon here. And that this is the water. And over here, because it gets too flat for your eyes, it's mirroring the mountains behind it. So that's what I started thinking. I still can't... I mean, how am I ever going to prove that? I don't know. I mean, you can see there's like a line there. Can you see that? There's like a line here. So what I think that line is the horizon. And that the water in front of it is mirroring the sky or the mountains behind it. Right? So right there. So you can kind of see that this is the horizon. I keep using my mouse over there. Here. This would be the horizon. This is the water reflecting the mountains, repeating. Oops, keep moving that. So that could be true. I don't know. Again, I can't tell you for sure it is, but I kind of kept looking like, is that? Almost like you could see, like here, right? There's the point where it's now reflecting there. Here's the point where it's reflecting here. Here's the point where this is reflecting. But we didn't know where to look for the mirror flash because we didn't know where the horizon is. We're like, well, wait, is that boat on the... Where was that boat I just saw? Or did I not see a boat? I thought I saw a boat maybe on that part. I might have missed it. Anyway, I was thinking, I was like, wow, I don't think if we looked at the footage, we would see anywhere there was a boat. See, this to me looks like, now I'm looking at it, that looks like water. Doesn't it look like water and this is the horizon? It's the first time I've noticed that. See this line, I think that's what it's going on. But then, if a boat was sitting here, would we see it or would it be... Man, I got to think about that. So, I don't know if we would see it. I don't know. I think what happens is the water almost gets like coplanar with your view, which would cause, basically there's not enough... Wait, what happened there? I want to see it from this part here. Why did I see it go? So if the water is actually... What if the horizon line is way back here? Which is where you see repeating. Wish I was a little higher, I could see that. See, now this looks like water to me. And this looks like the horizon. I don't know why, it's just the first time I've seen it that way. Yeah, and this is like mirroring this. This is mirroring this. This is mirroring this. This might be the horizon line here. Now it makes me think that that flash we saw is somebody, but how could it be a mirror flash if it wasn't them? going to try to find that spot. It's right in here somewhere, I think. I'm going to listen and see if I can figure out where we're at.
And do you guys see any boats out directly in our direction?
Okay, that's not where it is. We're a little further than that. Oh, what's that? See these two things here?
See those two dots? I know what we're seeing. Yeah, it's indeed.
Yeah, see, this is, I guess I was calling this the horizon, but it would almost be in the middle of that. That's, makes it very difficult. I kind of knew right when we got to the other side, I'm like, shit, we shouldn't be here. Because I just knew if there's a, I mean, look at that, you can see, look at that. Oh, that's a pretty good view. Oh, it looked better a second ago. I'm wondering if this is water. See what I'm saying? Water's right here, the ocean, or yeah, and then here's your horizon line. And so everything is repeating. You can see this is repeating. Like each of these lines that comes down, see how they're repeating up past this line and then under it? It's possible, but I don't know how you would ever know. Unless you picked out the mirror flash, unless we saw it. What was that? Oh, bird. Okay, let's try. How many more do I have left? 3 more. Gotta be one of these. See this one. I just wanted to see the mirror flash again and see if I could figure out from where it is. If we're seeing a repeat, it has to be a repeat. I mean, it has to be a mirage because I don't think it's going to be 2 different sources. Come on. Not here. I don't see him here either. Let me hear this. That's too short. 350.
Did you see the repeating? Yeah.
Yeah, see, the guy with the 950 couldn't even see this. Look at that. I mean, this is clearly a mirage. I mean, this is, you know, it's hard to see. It's 24 miles away. But if there is anybody flashing a mirror behind this, I don't think you'd ever see it. I just don't. I don't think that it. Oh, let's see. That's a boat there. And then I was thinking, last night I was just thinking in my head that if this could be water, but I was like, well, we would see a boat out here. At some point, you would think you would see a boat. But then again, that is getting close to the shore, and maybe boats don't go close to the shore. You can't park your boat on the way, you know, you can't go drive your boat up to the beach or in Capitola or something.
Boat just came into view. There's a sailboat to the right a little bit. It looks like it's not even moving. You wouldn't see that. Right. Underneath the peak right next to it, all the way zoom in as far as you can. I think
Yeah, that's it. That's all I have. I have to upload the other ones. That's all I got on here so far. So anyway, I'm going to do that tomorrow. We'll look at some of this stuff and look at those flashes, see if we can figure out what's going on there. Thank you to everybody who was at StreamYard today. Much love. We're going to turn that off. And what else do we have to do? Do we have to do anything else? So just real quick on debatism. Again, if you want to debate, it's got a pretty easy to follow rule structure. You can go to jeranism.com/debate. Jeranism.com/debate. And you'll get a Q&A form or something, whatever it is. Let me see. Let's go to browser. Why is that so? Hold on one second. Let me reshape this. This is out of alignment. All right. So let me give you a topic to discuss in the meantime. Benjamin Netanyahu, should he get the Nobel Peace Prize? Discuss. Shout out to all the Jews, by the way. We love you. Don't want to forget that. Don't want my YouTube channel taken down. So make sure you give props where props is due. Of course, God's chosen people is what I'm talking about. All right, let's move this over here. And there we go. Okay, so this is the debate page you'll get to, jeranism.com/debate. Just a couple things. I'm ready to debate, but I don't have an opponent. How do I find one? Teach you how to do that. It tells you how to contact me at t.me/jeranism. I'll probably put you into the Telegram group, which is, again, t.me/debatism. And you can email us at debatism at outlook.com. And just, you can call and say, hey, I'm willing to debate these 6 topics. And then we've got a scheduler who's going to start moving people around, making arrangements and all that stuff. Is the show always at the same time? Is anyone looking for an opponent? So there is a couple people, just so people know. Chris wants to argue the flat earth model. He's a flat earther who wants to debate the current flat earth model. He wants to argue against the AE model. Somebody wants to go against that. McToon says he would do 5G. And Rufy is still looking to do celestial navigation, measuring drop due to curvature, long distance observations, flight routes, and etc. Now here's the debate format, just so people can see what my thought process is. Again, it could change, but it's right now what I want to see it done first before we change it. So for now, the show is Tuesday at 6 p.m. Shows may be added on other days in the future. Time is subject to change. If you want to debate, understand the following: no shows will not be asked back. I mean, that's probably the worst thing, is for someone to confirm and then just not show up on the night of the debate. Also, if you're willing to debate as a last second fill-in, that's something you could let me know, or go to the t.me/debateism. And then we've got you agree to turn in your questions and claims before Sunday at 7 p.m. That's simply because if you're going to exchange, it's only fair if you exchange at the same time. So what's easier is to give them both to me, and then Sunday at 7, I'll give them both to each other. And then you guys have 2 days with each other's claims and questions to prep for that. Now, you don't have to do that. This coming Tuesday, Jeffrey and Nemos have decided not to exchange. So this will be a blind debate, but they are going by this particular format. So you'll be on your best behavior, yield to the moderator, you'll agree to be on camera. It's another big thing. We've had a couple people ask, can they not be on camera? No, I don't think I want people debating that can't even show their face. That seems weird. Debate layout and time. Each debater will get... So this is another thing. I probably need to change the name of this, but I like the idea still. I'm giving each debater a 2-minute warning card. Now, that could be an actual piece of paper that they just wave in the camera or whatever. But they can use it at any time, and it causes the other person to be muted and gives that person the floor for 2 minutes, uninterrupted. Only can be used once, can be used at any time. So it's a strategic play. You got to decide when you want to use your 2-minute warning. You could use it during their intro. You could use it during their closing. You could use it during the claims. At any point, you can use it, and then the other person gets muted, and you get 2 minutes uninterrupted. So it's a good time to point out lies, to say, hey, I see what this guy's trying to do here. He's trying to do this or that. And it just gives you that one free 2 minutes in case you think things are getting away and you want to butt in. That's what the 2-minute warning card's for. Then I also have each debater may ask for additional time twice and receive a full minute. So if during the back and forth, as far as the claims and the questions, if we do get a point where somebody's trying to keep talking, they can say, hey, can I get another minute? They get 2 of those where I'll add another minute and they can continue talking. So that's basically it as far as the rules. You have the welcome, which is just a 5-minute coin toss. Winner goes first, blah, blah, blah. Then you have the intro, which is going to be a little different than I think most shows do. It's going to be A will give a 2-minute intro, B will give a 1-minute response. Then B will give a 2-minute intro, and A will give a 1-minute response. So usually you have opening, and then you have kind of, well, this will be the opening person goes, and then the second person actually can comment on that opening statement, and then they go, and then the other person comments. So you also have to decide whether you want to go first or second. What do we have here? So I said intro statements. Yeah, we said that. Okay, I said these need to be a few attention-grabbing lines that each presents. It's to sum up their point of view and convey their primary points. This is not where specific information is shared. Here, debaters will simply state why their side of the argument is correct. For example, it is true because of X, Y, and Z, and can use this at any time to say, I will show you these 5 things tonight. Meaning if you've got 4 claims, it's now 4. But if you have 4 claims, you could say, tonight what I'm going to show is that clearly the Earth is not the globe that we've been presented. I'm going to do that by showing you first, claim number 1, second, claim 2, third, claim 3, fourth, claim 4. That's basically what your intro is about. And then you get into the 3 questions, which A will have 1 minute to ask B a question. And I say it should be direct and it cannot be multiple questions in one. What I'm looking for is an actual answer from people. So where it says here next, moderator can ask for clarification, I will not allow that to go on until the person answers the question in some way. They can say, I don't know. They can say, I don't have an answer to that. That's fine. But they can't just waffle around and not answer the question. So I want direct questions to be answered. And this is just, I figure if I ever debated anybody, whether it's Red's Rhetoric, whether it's Brenda, whether it's Austin, whoever it is, I can always think of 3 questions I would have for them. Like to start, like, okay, 3 questions that I would ask MC Tune, or 3 questions I would ask at Fight the Fat Shirt. And those questions are meant, you can also use them to set people up. What I mean by that is get them to answer a certain way, not get them to, they're going to answer that way. And then maybe one of your claims clearly shows that person is not following evidence, right? If the person makes a claim, or the person basically answers a question saying yes, and then your claim says, well, yes can't be true because of these facts, well, you're putting them in a tough position, because now they've got to either change their answer or go against your evidence. So we'll see which one people choose. So we do the 3 questions. That should go by pretty quick. And then there's going to be 4 claims. A will make a claim and provide evidence to back it up. And then B will give a 1-minute response. And then A gets a 1-minute final word. And then we'll do that 4 times until a total of 8's done. And then conclusion, A will give a 2-minute closing statement. B will give a 2-minute closing statement. And then we'll go through super chat questions. And I said here, when you agree to debate someone, you also agree to give me your 3 questions and 4 claims by Sunday evening, 7 p.m., at which time I will give them to the other person, unless decided to debate blind. So you can decide to debate blind if you want. That would be up to you. So if you're interested in joining one of the shows, you can do so by going to, and I'll put this on this page soon, Debatism at Outlook, or t.me/debatism, which will really just be a place for people to throw their names in the hat and say, hey, I'm willing to, and then you can have people that maybe find a debate partner there, not a debate partner, but a debate opponent, who say, oh, I saw this guy, you said you wanted to debate, I'll debate you against that kind of thing. So, and then there's just a form here you fill out, but if you click next, it will take you through your name, your contact. I assume you want to debate. Are you looking for an opponent? Do you have an opponent already? Pick one of those. If you said you have an opponent ready, please tell me who they are. Give me their best contact. What topic do you want to debate? What side of the position are you taking? Are you available Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. for the show? Or need an alternate day? You just basically submit that, and you are all good. So I look forward to having some structured debates that are shorter. My layout is one that should be done in a half hour, an hour and a half, but that doesn't include super chats. So that could take it a little bit longer. But at least for the people that are interested in the debate portion, it's not like some of these other ones at modern day debates that are 3 or 4 hours. Me personally, I can't sit through those because I always get to a place to where they're back and forth about some topic, and this happens in every debate, and they get stuck there. I don't want to listen to a whole show of me back and forth with MC Toon about whether we can use condensed images or not. Okay. Clearly, I have my position, which is no, because I can show you known horizontal lines that curve when condensed. His choice is yes, for whatever reason. I don't even know how you can hold that opinion, but that's what he does. Well, we can argue back and forth till the cows come home. What's the point? He's not going to change his opinion. I'm not going to change mine because it's right, but he's not going to change his for whatever reason. So I don't like those positions because I think people tune out and they get frustrated. And while the debaters might feel that it's a really kind of enthralling back and forth, nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear back and forth about a subject for a half hour when nobody's getting anywhere. You just have people repeating things, repeat things, and okay, what you're saying is, well, what I'm saying is, but you said that. So it's just this whole thing where I get really frustrated because I'm like, nobody's learning anything. Nobody. So I said, couldn't you come up with a structure to where basically I will have back and forth time, but it will be very short because it really should be about, here's me, here's my claim, here's my evidence, next. Then that person has to refute your evidence. Well, this isn't true because this isn't true because this isn't true because that, so I don't accept your preface there. And then you go to the next guy, and you just kind of move through some topics like that. And I think that we will get some places. I really do. If we notice that we just see people firm in their positions, then we just realize that nobody's ever going to change. But we all changed, right? So that's the thing. I do think it is possible. All of us did have a belief that we gave up because of evidence. So let's just make sure we're still those people that are willing to drop willing to drop beliefs if the evidence shows us that we're wrong. Okay. So that's basically it. Go there if you want to help out. Again, debatism@outlook.com for the email, or t.me/debatism if you want to get in the Telegram group and get your name in the hat. We do have a show this coming Tuesday. Will be Jeff Free Daughtry and Dustin Nemos. And then I believe we'll take the 24th and the 31st off. I believe. I might be going to somewhere for Halloween, where I will be dressing up and being on somebody's show. Well, I'll give you more hints as time goes as we get closer to that. But rumor has it I might be going to fly there. So if that happens, I will not be able to be available on October 31st. So that means that our first week back, which would be November the 7th or 6th, 7th, I believe, is available for a debate. So we don't have anything booked beyond this week. I do have a bunch of people, single people and people that have inquired and people that are interested. And if you know anybody that you think is a good debater that you'd like to see on the show, please reach out to them. If you get them on the show, I would be happy to thank you publicly or even in another way if we can get to that point. But I do think more than I thought, it does take reaching out, right? Like you're not going to have these guys who debate on all these shows, probably not going to come to me. So it's going to take somebody telling them, hey, do you want to go on Jaren's show and debate there? So any of your guys' help would be awesome. Right now, I'll keep it at 1 day a week. If it ever got super busy, I could go to 2. So we'll just see how it goes. But again, thank you guys for your feedback. I've gotten a couple messages about it. Seems like people like it. People think there's a need for it. I like anything. I don't like doing something that somebody else is doing, right? So if I was just starting a debate show that was kind of identical to what other people were doing, I probably wouldn't be very excited about it. But I do think that my layout will cause some interesting plays. People who use the 2-minute warning at different times, people who set people up with questions. I think it's good. And it puts people on the record. You know, I mean, it puts people on the record of saying, what is your opinion about this? What do you think this is? And make the person answer, you know, or they don't have to. They can say, I don't know. But again, is a good debater going to say, I don't know to 3 questions? Probably not. We'll see. So anyway, it's going to be fun. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a great intro song. Do I have it available to play? I don't think so. I'd play on the way out of here if I had it. But did I send it to myself? Let me think. Where do I have it? Did I put it in my saved messages or no? I do, but it's not correct. Let me see one similar thing here. Do I have it in here? Okay. I don't think I have the actual. This is a preliminary one, but it's kind of close enough. You'll hear it. It's going to be dope. The video's great. But let's see, what is it? This one? Maybe? Let's see this one. Doesn't sound good. It's on my phone. Debate it. Debate it. I like it. Short, to the point, says exactly what I wanted to say. Lucci Damas comes true again. Comes through again. Comes true as well. But he's been the rapper for my intro song for... Oh, no, he didn't do Baby Truther. Oh, yeah, he did do Baby Truther. God, I missed that intro. Can we watch that real quick? Just for fun. I missed that intro. Is it? Where is it? Where would I find that? Is that... I just haven't seen it in so long. Which one? The Justin Bieber one's pretty funny too. Missed that show. I think we might get, believe it or not, Alex Stein is going to be a guest on Debatism. He just wants to pick his topic. He's got a couple ideas and he wants to find an opponent, but that will be a fun night for sure. Let's see here if I can find, is it here? Summit downloads. Nope. It would be in here. I got to get some better organization. Somebody want to come organize my computer? Please. I will pay you in Debatism points. I don't know what those are, but they're something I'll make up. And you can use them for things. What things? Don't know. Now you're getting crazy. Let's see here. Where is this? What am I looking for? Let's go into backup. Maybe it'll be here. Come on. Baby Truther intro. I don't know which one this is, though. Oh, it's the one with Crumb. I got to watch this again. Let's just see for fun. I miss it. I haven't seen it in, what, year and a half? Let's see. My buddy wrote this beat. I like the beat a lot. Oh, that's a different one. Where's the real one? I know you can't see it. I'm trying to find it here. It's not the right one. Where's the original though?
the show. It's the baby dream 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 the show.
Sorry kids, things ain't always gonna be what they seem. They start you up early, got you thinking that we one team and we should live.
Breathe.
Believe the same one thing, skip the lecture, I'm a director making my own scene. When you find out, only certain people get a ticket to the hideout. Waiting for us to go put the fires in the skies out. Because we ain't no spinning globe, it's time you find out. Now open up the crib and let your mind out.
Let's go. It's the baby dream the show. It's the baby dream the show. It's the baby.
I don't see it. I wonder how they do with it. Oh, I know where it's at. I know where it's at. I put it in a.
It's the baby truth the show and it starts now. Wow.
What's this? Terra altogether transparent test. Terra JC. That's not right either. We're gonna have to call it night. I don't know where it would be. Stop it. I don't know why it's not. Oh, maybe it's in one more spot. Here, and then I've got used graphics. Maybe it's in here. Final speakers corner. Glowbusters. Transmission does. Speakers corner. Teeter Chrome. What is that? Oh. Man, I don't know what I did with it. What I've done with the intro. Oh. BTS? What is this? BTS. I don't know what this is. Let's try. Not what I thought it was. Alright, just the BTS logo that I didn't even know I had. Actually kind of cool. Alright, I don't see it. Oh, maybe it's an A. A drive has videos? Ah, okay, maybe it's in here. Oh yeah, this says the Bill 9. Oh, I'm glad I found this folder. Okay, pretty long, it's gotta be in here. A lot of stuff from the summits. Come on. What is this one? Just says Rose. Sorry, I just wanted to watch the original one, but I'm not really seeing it. I must have put it in a folder somewhere. I just can't think of where it would be. Oh, I think I have my. Oh, it's in my bag. What's this one? Original Baby Truth. That's all it says. Original Baby Truth. What does that mean? Jaren, can you describe your things better, please?
Yeah! You know what time it is, right? It's Thursday, y'all. Time to take the training wheels off. It's the baby. We got row 777 here. She's
Oh, it doesn't have their pictures. That's not fun.
Dave Wise with his backwards cap. In the flat earth, sun, moon, and zodiac clock app. And we got prime time. Alex Stein, number 99. He's on the grind all the time. And Jaren from Jeranism, keeping all these babies in line. Let's kick it. It's the baby Judah show, and it starts now.
It's the baby Judah show. 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 It's the baby Judah show.
Sorry, kids, things ain't always gonna be what they seem. They start you up early.
I need Iru to be in charge of my organization. Iru, get on it, please. We are. Oh, here's one that says Jeranism stuff. Is that? Oh, that's not it. And we tried that one. This is like BG. It stands for background, but I don't see it there. I wonder what I would have done with that. It seems like it should be. Oh, it's probably on that external drive. Okay, that makes sense. Because it's not here and not an A drive. Zip videos, resolve programs, personal PDF, MP3, manage, some downloads. Nope. It probably is in the Seagate drive, and that's not. Just haven't had to use it in a while, so I guess I kind of lost it. Where did it go? And I thought this one has. Oh wait, Baby Truth. Those are actual full episodes. A folder called Rob Skiba videos. Oh, there's all kinds in here. World photo, CIA, Russia. I probably should get those out somehow. I'll get those to people somehow. PC downloads, which is this one. Type. See what we got in here. Anything fun? Wow, I don't even know what these things are. It's amazing how much crap you have on your computers. Like, God, I could just go through and just delete these folders. I wouldn't even know anything. Wouldn't know a thing. Is that it? I'm like kind of baffled as to why it feels like I'm missing all those. And I can't go over to my other profile, or else I would and just get it from there, but that's not gonna work. Yeah, I don't know. I will find them some other. Oh, the Balin Dupree video. Is that girl still doing that shit? There's a girl who's totally faking having Tourette's. 100%. It's just not Tourette's. I mean, it's just, there's no way. And people are like, Jaron, that's where you don't know about Tourette's. You can't say that. Okay. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Clearly, you can tell when somebody's a faker. It's just easy. What's over here? We've got Baby Truth. Nope, that's just us dancing. And if it's not here, that's the P900. That's, what is that? Oh, my computer in the garage. Sony Cybershot PC downloads, P900 raw. That's all my episodes. Summit, Skiba, downloads desktop. Let's try desktop real quick. What's this? Sometimes I don't know about you guys. I just take my entire desktop and put it in a folder called desktop somewhere like on a backup drive, and then move on to the next. But the problem with that is that it's hard to find shit after. Final Parody, Final Owen. What are these? Bob Promo, Gas Vacuum, Final Parody 1080. What are we talking about here? Jared, can you be more clear? Oh, that's We Didn't Start the Fire. Liars, 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 done. Recording Thames video. Oh my god, so funny. All right, I don't see it, so we're just gonna have to not listen to it. I'm baffled that we don't have. Oh, maybe it's here. Songs. Nope. Oh, listen to that on the way out. That's a good song. Stage Set by Spiritual North. It's very good. Actually, he's got a better song than that one, anyway. I do like Samson's song. I think we already listened to it on the show. We don't need to listen to it again. We have that we're not listening to. This one we're not watching. We're not watching that. Not doing that. Not doing that. Nope. 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 Well, let's see what we got here. No. And here. What do we got? Nope. All right. Well, I looked for it. Oh, well. What are you going to do? All right. Let's listen to probably something we have over here. Something good on the way out. Jeranism song? I think I know what you guys want. You want the Jeranism song, don't you? Or the Jaron song. It's not a Jeranism song. No such thing. And again, for the 1000th time, it has nothing to do with me. It was on the internet. When I came onto the internet, it was on YouTube in 2014 before I ever made a video. It is certainly not about me, despite there being words in there that might make you think it is. But it is not. So we will go here and watch a little dancing while we're out here. Find one of these I haven't seen before. What's that one? No. 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 Good enough. All right, guys. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. will be the Jeranism show with your host, Geronimo Campanella. No, it'll be me, and we will have a lot to talk about. Got a few things ready for you and something coming up that I'll be finishing tonight. So looking forward to that. It has been fun. Thank you guys for those of you who called in, and we will see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. The Jeranism show right here, same bat time, same bat channel. let's check real quick. I didn't look at super chats. I want to make sure if there is any. I want to say thank you. Let's go here and see. There is $1.99. Oh, no, $21.99. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go see who did that. Thank you very much for the, and then we'll check Rokfin too. I have a note here. That's why I've almost ended the show, but there's a note right where I end the show that says, Jaren, did you check? Like, I didn't. I'm such a loser. All right, Earn. Let's go. YouTube, are you listening? Is somebody from YouTube listening? There needs to be an easy way to look at super chats and memberships. That's it. Should be an easy way. Yeah, there's not. There's not. You have to go through 17 steps in the back room. It used to be easier. All right, here we go. Jeranism, did you know the Troubling Tribune is selling crochet items from what? From jail? I saw a post from him last night about it. We can't forget about Troubling Tribune. He's a legend. If you have flat in your heart, let it out. Flat power. He's selling crochet items from jail. I did not know that. Where do we find out what he's selling from jail? I did not know. I will look into it and let everybody know. LJ says, why don't you have Flat Earth Dave debate for us? Why don't you have Flat Earth Dave debate for us? What do you mean? When? On Speaker's Corner? Not sure that totally makes sense, what you're saying. Why don't you have Flat Earth Dave debate for us? Yeah, Dave can debate. I don't think Dave really likes debating, but I'm sure he would eventually come on the show if he can find an opponent. I'm not sure. If that's what you're asking, let me go check Rokfin and just make sure we got any tips there. I do appreciate it. Keeps the show going. All right, $10, not bad. So that's just so people know, because people love to say that, you know, Jaren's cleaning up and making a bunch of money, and they'd be a little bit confused. So we made maybe $30. $30 in 3 hours, not bad. We'll do with that. $10 an hour is a great way to find yourself homeless quickly, but you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, let's get on with Rokfin tips. Who is so kind? We've got Tiffany Vinci. Thank you very much. $5. Thanks, Tiff, for always being a great supporter. And Hubble's Horrors, same thing. Also $5. Thank you very kindly. Much appreciado. Much appreciado. All right, it's been fun, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. And I believe that is it. I remind you guys, please do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe all the bullshit you've been taught. Till next time, this has been Jeranism, and peace.
I know this dude named Jaren, and he's looking real fine. And no, I'm not a homo, but I gotta try to make him mine, cause he holds all of the secrets that the ancients once kept. But the way to Jaren's heart is proving you have once leapt from a volcano or a cliff or an airplane into danger, without fear, crying, screaming, waking babies in their mangers. He can smell your fear from 1,000 miles away, and if you try to deceive him, well, today's your last day. You can bet he doesn't want a coward or a liar coming up to him saying, can you be my friend? Maybe you can man it up and lay it down in front of him, show him you're strong enough to go out on a limb. He's got enough ladies lining up around the block to fill 747's loading up around the clock. A lot of men are crying every single day, praying for a Jaren day, but they can't afford the price to pay. All the women want him, and all dudes want to be Jaren, but the fact of the matter is, there's only one Jaren. He's got an internet following that forms a giant group. He can translate ancient tablets using alphabet soup, which he rarely even does, though it fetches big money. He doesn't even need it, cause he sweats pure honey. His fans send him gifts, make him gifs, jump off cliffs, just for the once-in-a-lifetime honor of seeing Jaren take a sip of his famous oat stew. That's right, he's a stew chef. You may say, what's a stew chef? Well, you've probably never seen a stew chef, cause there's only one stew chef, and it's Jaren cooking it up. He's known for only filling friends and family's cups with his decadent sludge that he boils all night, every night, every night. It's out of sight. He can do a dance that makes everybody pee their pants and make a mess and cause stress. He's on a mission with the Jerry Berry Blitz and the Jerry Berry Twist. He's riling up the world. You can do the Jerry Berry Blitz and the Jerry Berry Twist. You can imitate the best just like the rest. Come on, Jaren, show the world what you got now. He's gonna show you his dance. He's gonna show you his skills, his dancing skills. Check him out, y'all. Jaren's powers grow with every fight, and every fight that he fights, he destroys his opponent and leaves a sticky mess on the ground. He wages war when provoked, and when provoked, he starts to smoke out of his butthole, and that's when you run away or die. does what he wants when he wants. Sovereign nations all bow down when Jaren comes around. They know they can't match his skills, yeah, they've all heard this song. He's lived for thousands of years and caused innumerable tears and broken so many hearts, I just don't know where to start. His flow's unbreakable, swagger unshakable, his style's impeccable, and you can't do anything when he competes at Pizza Prize Bowl. Girls want to marry him, but a mate would only slow him down. And besides, you know that he would never ever share his crown. He's left everyone he's met depressed, torn up, and so forlorn. What's scary is you haven't even seen his final form.